So, welcome keninblack. Thanks for joining us. Tell us some stuff about Double.
Double is definitely a illustrious character in the history of Skullgirls. She's been hated to loved all over the place, and she's just really... The biggest thing about her that sets her up differently from a lot of characters is that when you think of this game, a lot of people think like crazy IAD pressure and like offense, and she kind of takes a step back from that and plays the game a little different. And what you get from that is you get like... Denza put it in a really good point one time. I remember he said this, and I totally agree. She's like a jack of all trades and a master of none. And while that's kind of true, it's still not super true, because she's really, really good at like a handful of things, which in turn just makes her ridiculous. Most people think she's very, very strong. I don't know anybody in the current state of the game that thinks she's bad. Sonic Fox, I believe, I don't know if his opinion has changed, but last time I asked, he thinks Double's the best character in the game, period. So that's a good sign if the best player in the world thinks that the character you're playing is the best character in the game. I don't really know if I go that far, but he thinks of, obviously, he thinks of the game a different way compared to other people, just like how every tier list in this game are crazy. But yeah, so she's just a generally really solid character that just has good ground game, good aerials, good reset game. Not spectacular damage, but average damage. Not spectacular reversals, but average reversals. Some of the best supers in the game, period, point blank. And then just really, really, really solid stuff. So I guess we just... What's next? Normals? You want to just go normal button by button?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so we'll start with your ground normals and just work from light punch to light kick, medium punch to medium kick, hard punch to hard kick. And this will be easy. Stand light punch is a bad button, soft bat. I know I just explained this character's really good, but this button's not. It's a combo tool. Not really much else. It's really good in your reset situations as well, but we'll get to that a little later. Can't even get the crossover. Oh my god, why don't I get that? I just want to... There we go. Okay, so we'll get to that a little later, but it's good for the reset situations, and it's good in combos. It's not like a good like pressure tool, and it has a very like not spectacular hitbox. Crash Light Punch is similar kind of story. You do it in combos. Maybe that's kind of it. Not really the most useful button on the planet. And then Jump Light Punch. Or do you want me to stay grounded and then go to aerials?
Whichever direction you want.
Jump Light Punch is really good. It's good for combos to start the barrel loop, which I'll go over later, of course. And really fast, really decent air-to-air that can turn into some things. Jump for me. And then you can like jump again, sorry. And then you can just turn that into stuff. So it's a really fast air-to-air button. Obviously not the most ridiculous range on the ever, but very solid, very fast, very decent button. Moving on to light kicks. Stand light kick, combo button. That's pretty much all there is to it. It's a decent combo button. And the different contrasts is how I just went over this. Like it's nothing. This move is ridiculous. Crash Light Kick is pretty much her go-to combo starter. Most of your neutral interactions are going to happen from this button. It has amazing range. It's really fast. It's a low. If they block high, you can clip their legs. Really, really strong. Really, really solid button. Just very self-explanatory. It just does everything. It chains into mediums and hards like most things in this game. It's really good range, very spectacular range. Her main mix-up game is low and her button. Really, really strong low. So huge repertoire in your game. If you're really, really new to Double, you gotta get very familiar with this button very quickly. It starts the meat and potatoes of this character. Very big part of her meat and potatoes. Jump Light Kick. It's multi-hit. It's hits 3 times, as you can see. Decent button for sure. It comes in a really cool angle, so it's a pretty decent jump in. You can make it a pretty decent jump in. Different enough angles where like a certain air to airs, if you're above the opponent, it's really good as an air to air. And mostly just a combo move once again for the barrel loop, which we'll go over later. And yeah, decent button. I actually don't use it that much, but I know doubles that definitely do, and it's definitely something worth doing. Nice multi-hit.
Does it also pull them towards her? Because I've seen people use it to pull people out of the corner, right?
Yeah, it does. You see it pulls them a little bit towards them for some trickery, you know? So that's another thing to keep track of, but definitely not a huge connoisseur of this button as some others are. Alright, next is the medium. We're getting a medium punch. Stand medium punch, decent button. I kind of just use it for combo stuff, like conversions and stuff. Not really for anything. In terms of neutral, not really anything in terms of neutral, but it's an okay button. Some people like to use it in neutral, but like chain it into stuff. But Crouch Light Kick is kind of does a similar job, but kind of better. The Stand Medium Punch definitely no slouch. It's a decent button. Crouch Medium Punch. That's another one. A lot of doubles buttons are like okay, but then like there's a few that really stick out. So it's gonna kind of be weird to go over this. But Crouch Medium Punch is just solid button, like up close. Nothing really ridiculous. I don't really use it much. More of a combo move and a conversion move. It's one of her best moves to OTG with. I'll say that. So do this, up, pop them, easy, OTG.
Since it moves her forward and stuff?
Yeah, since it moves her forward and it's very active, it stays out for really long. Like here, like up, dash. Why don't I get what's wrong? There we go. Ooh. So very easy. Very consistent OTG. One of her more consistent moves to OTG with, for sure. So that's a very good thing to know in terms of her combo game. But in terms of neutral, it's nothing like spectacular. It's not something you're really going to be doing that often. Jump medium punch is very strong, very solid jumping. Similar to jump light kick, it's multi-hit. It hits like 6 times. Definitely another move that you'll see a lot in her combo game and a lot of couple of extensions. Definitely a decent button, decent jumping button, good pressure tool. Not like her best jumping button, but we all know what that one is. We'll get to that. Yeah, jump medium punch is definitely like a good mix-up in terms of the air, where they think you're going to do something at like one thing, and you do something else. It's not the worst option in that regard. If you want to mix up your aerial approaching, it's not terrible. Next is stand her medium kick. Stand medium kick is a really good. Okay. Stand medium kick is a really good button. You can press it twice, and you get it 2 times. And it's decent for that because it helps starting out, it helps with your conversions, so you can get an easier hit confirm with Crouch Light Kick. You go, and by then you're like, okay, now I can do the launcher. And then you're in there. So that's good. But the biggest thing about it is that the frame data isn't that amazing, so when you get to the higher levels of play, people are going to start PvGCing you for it, because the way it works out, like blocking it, is very open to being PvGC'd. Yeah, so that's one of the habits I still get a little annoyed with, is that I do that, but I'll get to block strings later when I get more into it. But decent move, you hit it 2 times, pretty decent, pretty okay. It's another like combo move that you're going to see. Crouch medium kick's okay. I don't really like it. It's decent for certain conversions.
It doesn't go as far as her Crouch Light Kick.
Yeah, it doesn't go as far as your Crouch Light Kick. That's already like a step in the wrong direction. And then it's like okay. I don't know. I do it in combos. Yeah, I don't know. This OTG is better. This is a better poking tool. It's outclassed button. Not useless, but outclassed. Jump medium kick is extremely good. Extremely good. I recommend for any doubles that want to learn how to utilize this button to definitely watch Cloud Kick, because I feel is one of the best. Him and Duck, since they're both Valve players, it comes to them very naturally using this button. I don't really get it in terms of neutral, but they're very, very strong with this button in neutral. So if you want to see how this move works in a neutral situation, definitely watch Cloud or Duckhead. Decent button, very, very good. It hits twice. As you can see, it moves her a little forward, so that's very useful.
If the hitbox is like Val's, then the first hit is pretty disjointed.
Yeah, like a first hit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same, or decently the same. So first hit's pretty disjointed. Once again, huge part of the barrel loop combo that everybody knows about. We'll get to that. And then or we'll get to the pressure with the whole fastball shenanigans that you get off of it. Definitely a very good offensive button. It's very versatile. It offers a lot of things for you. Alright, next is the hard punches and the hard kick. Hard punch. This button's awesome. This button's awesome. I love it so much. It gives you a sliding knockdown, which means that that whole situation, she cannot tech. If it's a purple or pink or whatever color you want to call it, bounce. A hard knockdown. Whole situation, can't tech. And you get in and you get a free pressure situation. But then if what would be a situation? Okay. Then if it's blue, so oh my god. Sorry, getting a little rusty. If it's blue, you get a tech out of it. So keep that in mind. You don't get the sliding knockdown if you've already used your OTG. But in these situations, it's really good. It gives you sliding knockdown. As you can obviously see, the range is amazing. You can cancel it in specials, which is a really, really great thing about it. Very neat. Another one of her important, like, meat and potatoes, like, neutral button. Crush light kick, stand hard punch, really strong ground game. It's one of the huge contributors to why her ground game is so ridiculous. This button right here. And then Crush Hard Punch is another button that showcases why her ground game is really good. Really decent speed for sure for a Crush Hard Punch. Decent range, special cancel, you get your hit confirms really ridiculous. You can get stuff going like that. Decent anti-air to deal with IAD, which is pretty crazy.
Oh wow, yeah.
So, definitely like a deceivingly good IAD.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's really good for dealing with its air dash fortune. Cilia, if they're just like oppressing you like that, if you're really reading it, you can just knock that off real quick. And then it puts them in a bounce, and you're looking really good. So another one of her really strong neutral buttons. Once again, it can be special canceled. Like ridiculous. Very strong, decent button. All three of her hard punch moves are ridiculous because now we're getting a jump hard punch, which is like one of the best jump ins in this game. It's a move that's gotten nerfed over time, but it still holds up. And people have developed a lot of counterplay. It's obviously not as free as a lot of people say it is. There's a lot of ways to deal with it now, but it's very, very solid and very impressive, and just gives you a lot of things.
Oh man, I guess since we're doing this offline, we can actually like show hitboxes too.
Oh yeah, that's true. So look at the hitbox on this.
Yeah, wait, you should put on slow motion.
Oh, slow motion?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Up at the top.
Up there. So as you can see, it's just a giant red, beastly hitbox. That's just really, really solid. You want to keep the hitboxes up?
You can turn them off.
Yeah, so just to show you how aggressive that button is, the answer's very. Once again, one of her main buttons that people bring up when they talk about double. It hits 3 times, has amazing range, it gives you so much hit stun. You can like get it from this range, yeah, if you don't suck like me. Oh my god. If you don't suck like me, you can... I swear to god you can do it, I'm bad. I don't know. But it's really good. It's really, really good. It gives you a lot of hit stun to work with, gives you a lot of, like, you control neutral with it very well.
I guess it's 3 hits, which is like sort of a sweet spot in terms of like being useful as a multi-hit for breaking armor, but also like not scaling things too much.
Yep. Definitely useful. Definitely her like best jump-in for sure, like without question, her best jump-in. There's a lot of counterplay to it. People have developed a lot of ways to deal with it, but it's really, really good, really aggressive, and really strong. That's another move you have to really get used to. Just jumping in with hard punch and mixing up your double jump and everything like that. So yeah, we'll get to her double jump movement and stuff later. But yeah, next is her hard kicks launcher. Stand hard kick it. It's a launcher. I don't know. It's some people use it as like a weird pseudo anti-air. I don't really. Most people like kind of don't, but I don't know. It's a launcher button. You launch them up in the air and you get your launcher air combo. So it's a combo move, and not terrible. Crush hard kicks are sweep. It's an okay sweep. I don't really use sweeps with any of my characters, honestly, but it's a okay sweep, I guess. Breaks armor. Universally breaks armor like with the rest of them. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really incorporate it that much in any of my stuff. Some people have like crazy tech chase flush step stuff with it, but I just kind of like hitting actual resets and stuff. But I don't know. Sweeps in this game have never been like spectacular, except like angles and stuff. Doubles sweep does not land in the spectacular department.
Really, the most you see sweeps is like as an OTG, since they also tend to do a lot of damage for like optimal combos. But besides that,
or like a first bait thing or stuff like that. And then we have jump hard kick, which is also another very, very ridiculous button. It's really, really good. Once again, it's a combo move because it's part of the barrel move. And it has not only does the pigeon, or the bird, I call it a pigeon bird. I know it's not a pigeon, but the bird has hits on it. Has like 3, I think. So like 2. Yeah, like 2 or 3 hits. But the initial hitbox, like double, has one on the initial release of it on top of a little projectile that falls down. So it's really, really good. You can set it up for like ridiculous corner pressure. You get them in the corner, you do some freaky deaky stuff. Bam! And then you just like, like you set up pressure with it. It used to be a lot better, but like you still set up pressure for days, pops them up. Ridiculous button. Really good neutral thing if you're like scared, you want to reset the situation and create some space. One of the easiest things you can do with double if you're like, oh man, I really want to get away. That's so sick. Jump back and you press hard kick, and the bird is in front of you, and they can't. There's obviously weaknesses to everything, but it's a very good answer to like, wow, I really don't want to be near this character right now. Like, you just backdash, call the bird. Really, really, really solid. So those are pretty much all the normals. Doesn't have
any command normals, right?
Yeah, she has Cilia slide.
Which is just special.
Make sure. Yeah, she has. Yeah, Cilia slide is categorized as special. Yeah, so she has no command normals to begin with anyway. So that was it. That was all her normals. Very solid stuff. Jump hard punch, stand hard punch, crouch light kick, jump hard kick, jump medium kick, jump medium punch, stand medium punch, crouch hard punch. A lot of things to take into account, and she has a bunch of stuff that you can incorporate in your repertoire to make her really, really solid. She has a lot of options on the ground game and a lot of options on the aerial. So, next is her throws. Let's go over them real quick. They're both kind of just the same thing. If you do nothing or hold forward or just do nothing, when you press the throw buttons, she's going to spin them out in front of her, and then if you press both lights and backwards, she's going to turn around and then spin them. So you kind of just gauge how you do it that way, and you just do it. And I don't know, it's just a throw. Really easy. Of course I'd drop it, but really easy to convert off of. Some characters you flesh step, some characters you don't. Pretty much all the mid-weight characters, to get a conversion, you just flush step immediately. We'll get to the special moves later. I'll get to the combos later, sorry. But yeah, her throw's decent. It's just like every other throw, but she gets to convert off of them anywhere on the screen. Mid-screen you use OTG. In the corner you can use OTG, but you also don't have to at all. And we'll get to that in her combo stuff. And now her specials. Now
her air throw?
Oh yeah, her air throw, I'm sorry. Nice. Thank you for keeping me in check. Her air throw is ridiculous. Her air throw is decently fast. Sets up very easy conversion with a simple dash. Very strong, very solid air throw. Because her air game's so good. Like her aerials are so amazing. And there's so many ways to keep them in the air and mix them up. Just with like this alone and then like bam. So her air throw is definitely really, really solid. It's not like Parasol eyes are good, but it's like really good. So yeah, those are the throws. Next up is specials. I'm just gonna go in order of the list. So we got Flesh Step. I'll go more into detail with this in the movement, but it's Corso, back, and kick. It's kick, so I don't think any of the strength doesn't matter, right? I don't think it does.
I thought they go different distances.
Do they? I think you might be right. It was here. It was there.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you're right. How do I not know that? I can't tell. Someone in the chat, do they freaking...
Actually, wait, just do 2 in a row.
Oh, that's smart, yeah. go the same distance.
Huh.
Yeah, okay. Sorry guys. I'm the double guide master right now. I don't even freaking know that. But Flip Step is good. It's a good move. Solid mobility. It's projectile invul in like certain parts of it, so it's good to like bob in and out of like projectile like peacock stuff. But it's I have no way to show you how to do it. It would be harder for me.
Yeah.
But just learn the pocket of it. It's mostly the biggest thing that you need to use it for is certain conversions, like this throw one right here, where you do the flesh step to get in range to do the air, to do the OTC. Like I said, against midways, you want to do that, but yeah. So flesh step is decent, pretty good. You can make like crazy reset setups with it. Oh, well, I just did that off of force to have. It sucks. But there's definitely not like crazy stuff you can do with flesh step. The classic, of course, is you call an assist and you flesh step, and then the assist goes to the block. Cross up assist. There you go. So that's a very simple move. Call assist, flesh step. Yeah, decent move. Great for mix-ups. Great for dealing with projectiles. Great for conversion.
Next is Luger.
Yeah, next is Luger. Luger is an amazing button special. It's gotten really, really good over time. And so to start, it's Portugal forward and punch, simple Hadouken for all the Street Fighter players out there. You do light punch, shoots very like linear, very straightforward, right above, but crouch it'll whiff completely. On most characters, I think it'll like hit, like tagging Big Man, I think it gets him.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah, it gets Big Man, it gets like, I think Eliza, maybe? It definitely doesn't get double.
Yeah, double's pretty small when she crouches.
Yeah, so it'll whiff up close. So it's like, oh man, that's when medium punch comes in. Medium punch gun, you shoot downwards. It doesn't bounce or nothing, but it'll shoot downwards. So it helps you in making sure so the opponent doesn't crouch, you do the medium punch shot. Obviously, they cannot crouch. So you that's a good part of her neutral is that crouch hard punch I was telling you about, how it can special cancel. Medium Luger is the answer right there. Bam, 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 bam. Really, really good. Really, really solid. And then hard punch shoots right in front of you. You shoot it straight down to the ground and it pops up in the air. And I know what you're thinking, that's pretty useless, huh? But if you get a good read and they jump to you.
Oh.
Sorry.
Alright.
Jump to me. Oh.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
They pop up and you get a conversion like that. So
3, 2, 1.
kind of do it with affiliate.
Okay.
It's easier to deal with.
I could just like airball at you or something.
So you see how it like pops them up and then makes them slowly drop to the ground. You get a very easy double. It's really, really good once again to deal with instant air dash. Oh, never mind. Now that I think about it, it's not really that good.
You'd have to read it.
You have to definitely make a hard read. But it's good to cover that space. They have to respect it, like that range right in front of you. And it's very good in combos. Bam. Get the conversion going because it pops them up even when you hit them in a combo. So it's good for combos. And yeah, the Lugers are a huge part of her game. A huge part of her ground game and her neutral. It's like if you're full screen, you don't really know what to do. Throw one of these out. Like, yeah, there's certain scenarios, double can car and shit and stuff like that. But they obviously, even if they crouch from here, they're not gonna be able to punish you for it. You're all the way over here. It's just like you want to put hitboxes out on the screen, right? So you go here, and then once you're closer in range, that's when these pop up. Once you get the hit, that's when this pops up. And you get it like that. Another note, obviously, is if you do hard Luger combos, the second one doesn't pop them up like that slowly. They come down at a normal rate.
Oh.
So you don't get it forever.
Right. Also, it scales, right?
Yeah, and it scales.
To 75%? I think.
So that's... Yeah, Bam. Bam. you see where I'm going with that. It obviously doesn't keep the same effect after doing it more than once in a combo. So I can't remember. Hornet Bomber's next, and then items, and then supply. Okay. So Hornet Bomber. Hornet Bomber is another very well-known move in this game. But yeah, it's her DP. Did you do a DP motion, which is forward, down, down, forward? It's forward, down, down, forward. And with kicks. So, light kick is invincible on startup, and it hits twice. And that's your reversal. So try to air dash and do a button.
Sorry.
Get some space.
1, 2, 3.
So it just goes right through it, and you get the invincibility, and that's her DP, basically. It's her napalm pillar, it's her updo. Not the best thing ever. There's obviously huge counterplay, like jumping over it, but it's there, and you have it, so that's cool. And it's super cancels, which we'll get to at the supers. So that's good. That's your DP. Medium bomber is in neutral. It's a once again, what is this? Later, but a medium bomber on point is okay. There's not really much use for it anymore in terms of neutral. And then hard bomber is shout out to DVD with the round start hard bomber boys. But on a serious note, it's also not really that good, except as a combo finisher. It does a lot of damage. It cancels in the super, so it's very, very effective in that regard. All that later. But yeah, hard bomber is pretty much your last string of your combo finisher is button, 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 hard bombers. But outside of that, light bomber is kind of the only one you're doing, and you're doing it as a reversal. They're obviously, all three of them are incredibly unsafe on blocks. You're not gonna do them with a block string like that. So you have to just keep that in mind. And medium bomber, I believe you can crouch at a certain range, right? Crouch block. Yeah, see how the second hit, he didn't even hit you.
Right.
You were just under it. And then hard is the same thing. So keep that in mind. You really shouldn't have to, because hopefully you're not just doing this. That's one thing I remember people try to do. They just do this in neutral. That's definitely a rookie mistake. It sucks. Please don't do that. You have this, you have this, you have this, you have so much stuff where you don't actually need to do that. But yeah, so that's really, really solid. Next is item crash. Item crash and then Cilia Slash. Jeez. Okay, so item crash is it's an air only special move, and it's quarter circle back and kick in the air. And all the different strengths give you something else, a different thing. Like kick gives you teacup with the cute little mouth. Medium kick gives you oil barrel or barrel, whatever you want to call it. Hard kick gives you fridge. They all do different things. Light kick, if you hit them on the ground with it, it puts them in a wiggle state. I don't know what you actually call it.
Stagger.
Stagger.
Wiggle state.
It puts you in stagger, and you can shake out of it, but you obviously get a combo if you hit them in that scenario. And in the air, it just hits them, but that's when the Teacup Loops come into play. That we'll also once again get to later. So it's got some uses. People love to do it. Shrinkens your hitbox. I mean your hurtbox a lot. So people like to do incoming teacup to be freaking crazy. People like to just throw it out and be wild. But in terms of actually playing, it's not spectacular. But it can freak the opponent out if you just throw it out. Sometimes things can sometimes go your way. One of my very early on resets was just cross up teacup. It's hella unsafe. You block it, but
right.
It's there. Barrel is decent. It gives you, instead of a stagger, it knocks them down like that, and you get a hard knockdown and you pick up off of it. It's also once again the last component of the very well-known barrel loop combo. That's why it's called a barrel loop, because this is a barrel that did it. So, yeah, it's decent. Like I showed that on that not crazy, but one of our main resets earlier. He did some gutso stuff with it that we'll get to later. And yeah, so it's part of the barrel loop combos and whatnot. Fridge, hard kick, bounces them up in the air, really far. Doesn't matter when you hit them, it does the same thing. It pops them up in the air, and then you get a hard knockdown conversion thing. So that one of Liam's main combos incorporates the fridge. It does a little something. I think I'm probably not even doing it right, but yeah, I don't even think how you do it. Geez, I'm gonna mess right now, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it goes a little something like this. And yeah, so it's got uses. It's okay. It's something that you do in certain conversions and certain combos, but it's not really anything spectacular. You're going to be mostly doing light for Teacup Loops, and you're mostly going to be doing medium for mix-up, like assist mix-ups and the barrel. And next is Cilia Slider.
I think so, yeah.
That's the one left. I can't believe I check this every time. But the next one's Cilia Slide. Cilia Slide is light kick and hard kick. At the exact same time, you press it back. And it gives you this. It gives you the slide. A Cilia Slide. And it hits low. And it's decently solid, and it really sets up it. As you can obviously see, when you hit with it, it like pushes them and like hits them behind you. So that makes for really cool stuff. As you've been seeing throughout this guide, one of her main. There's two routes that pretty much everybody does. I'll get to it more in detail, but I gotta stop saying. But with combos, there's like two double routes that everybody goes with. There's barrel loops and the Teacup Loops, and then there's the Cilia Slide routes where you start the Cilia Slide and then turn it into stuff. So those are like the two main starters for combos.
The Cilia Slide does good damage too, right? So
yeah, Cilia Slide does good damage. They both are good routes that you can take. Some people like to just get wild and just throw it out in neutral to try to catch them crouching, and try to catch them standing so you get them with a low. But yeah, it's definitely a versatile, good special move that is incorporated in combos. And like, next are the supers. I'll make sure to just memorize this. Car, Beast, Cats, level 3, level 5. Okay. Car, Beast, Cats, level 3, level 5. So, Car or Bandwagon Rush. I'm sorry that I'm not naming them by the actual name of what the moves are. I don't really do that. But
I mean, honestly, like
people, this is Bandwagon Rush, but everyone's gonna call it Car.
yeah, you might as well learn what people are actually going to call
It's
it.
called Car. So it's core circle forward punch. Core circle forward and 2 punches. Any 2 punches in choice. And you get a car. You go vroom vroom and you skirt, and then you hit them. 5 hits. It's really, really good super for 1 meter. And the biggest thing to note is that if you do nothing, say I'm on the 1-player side and I do nothing, it's going to come to the left every time. The hand is off the stick, it comes all the way to the left. But if I'm on the 1-player side and I want it to go the other way, you can do that because you just press, you hold back. And if you hold back, it'll go the opposite way of where you're going. You can see it by the very crazy dust cloud, right? So I'm going to do car with no input at all, and it's going to go from some player 1, it's going to go from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. See how the dust cloud is on the left side of the screen? And I'm going to do the exact same super, but I'm going to have it come the second player's side of the screen, from right to left instead of left to right. And I'm going to do this by doing the 2 buttons, activating the super, but holding back as soon as I do it. You see how the dust cloud comes from over there? So it's a very easy cue to see which way it's going to go for anyone dealing with it at home. Bam.
Highly recommend, learning to judge it based on the dust cloud. I got in the habit of like judging it based on sound because you can also like hear which direction it's coming from, and like that's not going to help you in tournaments.
Not at all. So learning. It used to be a really, really small cloud that you could barely see, but now it's very obvious. So you just do it to. If you want the car to go close to you, like the car to activate on the side of the screen that you're on to the other side of the screen, you don't do anything. But if you want the car to go the opposite side of the screen that you're farther away from, you just hold back in any direction, and that's where do it again on this side to show you. But even here, even on this side, I do the car super and I instantly hold back, and it'll come that other way. So that's how you switch between the sides. It's used as a really good reversal. It has like really good hit stop or something, and it's
also she's just completely invincible during
she's
it,
completely
right?
invincible to see a freaking car. So it's a great, like, oh man, I'm getting pressured and I have a safe DHC. What do? Oh, it hits sick. And then like it gets out of control. So that's useful. And it's also your most damaging like finisher for a combo for 1 meter. If you just go pretend I did a good old long combo, that was the most optimal finisher basically for using 1 bar of meter. It does a decent amount of damage. That's also good. But yeah, definitely a very strong, solid super that you'll be incorporating a lot in your game. Next is Beast of Gehenna, or whatever you call it. I'm so bad at the lore.
Yeah, I mean everyone just calls it Monster.
Beast or Monster, and it's also a super. That's ridiculous. You do it by doing quarter circle back and 2 kicks. And this little puddle comes out. And if you go in the puddle, you get eaten, and then you get a really easy conversion. They fly up on the top of the screen. So, really, really useful move. If you want to deal with a really strong example of this in neutral, would be if you're playing against an Eliza and segments on the screen. And that crazy skeleton armor thing that you really don't want to deal with, or you really don't want to deal with it, and force them to go back to Eliza, you do this, and you walk behind it. And then it's over.
And yeah, and if you put that on her totem, it's just checkmate.
Yeah, if you just sit on it, if you're straight or on the totem, you have to deal with it. It's really, really good. It beats, since it counts as a hit grab, it beats armor. So that's another really good thing to note. But it's 1 meter, and it gives you a nice little puddle. And if you go anywhere near this puddle, run up to it and block it. There you go. So you block it like that, but it still puts you in block stuff. So just down, back again. I'm still gonna do stuff from it, so it's ridiculous. So, very ridiculous super, and it's one of the 2 supers that she has. That is once again. This one's a little bit. It's like pseudo safe. It like depends on the DHC, but it's like pretty much safe. If you just block. Oh, let me get the right word. This situation is completely safe and nothing can be done about it. Unless like maybe some crazy PvGC thing exists, but it's a safe DHC. It's a really solid, safe DHC. It's also really solid in certain team synergies as a hit move, as a hit like DHC sequence. So just don't do anything, I'm going to hit you, and say that this Cilia is pressuring me and I'm getting slaughtered, and I know they're going to do an input and Pillar's going to hit them. You get all this. You're going to spend 2 bars a meter. Get all that. So it's really, really good for something in those situations too, because if you do the safe DHC and it hits them, you set it up to where the puddle will eat them, you get a conversion. And from what I've been doing, some people do conversion where you do the monster and you try to like do an actual button, but that's kind of hard. In a tournament situation, just wait a little and then just shoot the hard gun, and then you just get it like for free. Some people do stand medium kick, some people do it, but the safe bet is just gun. It's really easy. It's super easy. Just wait and okay, do it. I'm really good at this game. You wait a little and then you do it, and then it works out for you. So yeah, that's pretty much the safe bet. Scales the combo a little bit, but what do you do? You're gonna reset them and then you get a die in like 2 minutes. And the biggest thing to note is if you have 1 meter, you have Light Bomber, that invincible reversal I was telling you about. It's like, oh wow, this is good, right? Why do I do anything? Like, what's the point of doing it though? Like, I don't get anything off of it. That is not true, my friend. For you see, you get the monster because you can super cancel and bam, a whoosh, a dadoosh, and you get all that. But you gotta keep in mind, remember that as you can see from that purple, I'll get it. It uses up the knockdown, so you can't OTG again. So keep that in mind for that specific conversion. So that's good. And now here's another super that a lot of people hate. That's the true like safe DHC since the dawn of time.
Yep.
It's a 2 meter super. The past 2 supers we went over take 1 bar. This super takes 2. It's called Catellite or something. Everyone's calling it Catheads. I've yet to meet anybody in my life call it Catellite. It's quarter circle forward and 2 kicks. This move is insane. People overrate it a little, but it's insane. So it works. It's pretty hard to, not hard, but there's a learning curve to some degree. The buttons that you press all do different things. So light punch, the cats go forward and drill forward. Medium punch, they go up. Like that. Then they come down. And in this situation where they're really dark, like in a shadow, that means that it's over. That means that the Catheads are done, they're crawling away out of the screen, and while they're out there, you can't do it again. So, yeah, and then hard punch pushes them downward like that. So I know what you're thinking, what's the point of this? Well, the next one I'll show you. This one, see, right there, I can't do anything. I can't call cats again. So they drill downward. So what you want to do is, to really show the example of this, you do Catheads, you press medium punch, and then you press hard punch, and they go down like that. Pretty ridiculous. That whole time I was mashing, I couldn't call Catheads again because they were crawling off the screen. I just wanted to show that as an example. So there's a little bit of learning curve. So light punch is the tried and true obvious one. That's the one that like gives you the hits and like the one you want to do when they're on the ground. But then if they're like jumping away and you do it really far away, you kind of want to chase them with this and like bring them down. So with hard punch. So it's a little bit of a learning curve to like learn when to press which button. But it's not that hard. It, once again, it takes 2 meters. And just hold down back. It's completely, once again, pseudo-safe. PvDC is such a crazy mechanic that you kind of have to say everything's pseudo-safe.
Yeah, I mean, everything is like safe in like quotes.
Yeah, everything's
it's
safe in quotes. But like, if they don't do anything, this is completely 100% safe unless they do something about it. And if they do nothing about it, it's completely safe. And so that's really, really good. You just do medium gun into Catheads and you get free pressure. Now, a lot of people overrate this pressure and they're like, oh my god, it's so dumb. Like, the double is just a guaranteed hit. You learn how to deal with it, because I'm obviously going to flush step. I'm very obviously going to flush step onto the other side while I'm mashing to stop it. So you just like learn to like block and then read it and try to see the like random teacup and whatever. But it's still a good super. I'm not like not. So it's really good. You get very easy conversions. Obviously going to scale because you're getting so many hits. That's a very easy conversion. And then if you're in this situation, what I'm doing right now, you don't want to risk triggering IPS by pressing a button. Because I just said like right punch is how you move them and medium punch is how you move them. If you don't do anything, they just chill. If you press nothing, they don't do anything. You have to press a button. But if you're here, then you don't activate IPS, right? So sooner or later, that's going to get out and you just wasted the combo. So what you do is you just mash throw. And throw's obviously going to whip because they're in the middle of hit stun, but I'm pressing light punch. So it's still going to count, see what I'm saying? And then the combo's going to scale, but it doesn't matter, you get a free hit. So,
quick question, is it only punches or can you use kicks as well?
Oh yeah, you can use kicks. I forgot, I've used punches my whole life, but there you go. You can also use kicks. It works the exact same way. Like it goes that way, you can kick goes up, or kick goes down. Thanks for bringing that up. I never even did it. I was too much. But yeah, so you just mash throw. And then the biggest thing that everybody uses it for is, so when I showed you earlier when Philly is blocking, and I do this in a monster to get a safe DHC, that's not really that impressive, right? It's kind of over, right? Oh, that's lame. That's not fun. I wish there was like a better thing to do in the situation. Well, there is. So I just do the same thing, but I do Catheads. And now it's Catheads. Look at all the shit that's being progressed, look at all the setup, look at all the dirt, and then I throw them, and that's just lit. You're out. So,
and it costs the same, right?
Yeah, it costs exactly the same. That's another really good thing to point out. Thank you. EXTs in this game work where you basically do the first super, and then whatever the second super is, unless it's 1 meter, obviously, you basically subtract. So, say Doubles level 5, or Valentine's level 5, or whatever. If you do a level 1 from Parasol, oh man, I can't DHC to a level 5 now, right? Because I don't have 5 meters. That's not true. A 5 meter super DHC only costs 4. Just the same way a 3 meter DHC only costs 2. And since double has the Catheads that cost 2 meters, you can see right here, see how it went to 3? That's 2 meters. Oh, man, that's lame. Well, I want to waste 3 meters for the j.HK. That's not true at all. It's like we just said, it subtracts. So, just block. Bam, you see it go to 4. Bam, I j.HK, you see it only go to 3 instead of 2. So it's a 2 meter super, but a 1 meter j.HK, which is absurd. Really, really good. Super important, because it's safe. Bonkers. So that's one of the main things that like people hate her for is the Catheads super. It's good. People overrate it a little bit because the mix-up isn't that crazy. If it was like on Fortune or Philly, it'd be different, but it's on doubles. It's not like that insane.
Right.
But it's definitely annoying. It's definitely a safe j.HK. So that's what's really good about it. Next is for level 3. Universal input for everybody in the game. Quarter circle back in 2 punches, you get your level 3. This really long cinematic is still a little too long for my liking, but it does damage.
How many times has it been shortened? Like at least twice.
3 or 4. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have like that crazy amount of utility. It's like, oh man, I want to kill my opponent, but I have 3 meters and a 1 meter super won't kill. You do a level 3 super instead, and it'll kill. If you hold the button, it goes a little faster, but it still takes a little too long, in my opinion. But here we go. So yeah, and once again, obviously, Hardkick Bomber into level 3 will work just like Car. I would do it, but I don't feel like sitting through the cinematic. But yeah, so there you go. It does more damage, but more importantly, at the end there, as you can see, I'll do it 2 more times. Bam, boom, bam, 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 wham, bam. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's squiggly. Moment of silence. Right there, it's a sliding knockdown. If you didn't use OTG in the combo. What that also means is that if you have 4 meters and that level 3 didn't kill, and you didn't use your OTG earlier in the combo, you do this. So you're like, bam, oh man, this didn't kill them. Oh, I still have the knockdown? Alright. Then you just get a card them for more additional damage. So that's really good. But keep in mind, I use the OTG. Oh my god. Whoops.
Autopilot?
Yeah, autopilot for sure. So keep in mind, I use the OTG. So I use the OTG this time. So I just want to make it very clear. I know this is obvious to think about, but I just want to make it very, very clear. Boom. Now you can tech. There's certain characters where if you do that and waste the OTG, they actually get to punish you on hit. I think that's still in the game. Just go to Big Man and mash SSJ. Like as soon as I'm done with this combo, it's freaking mash SSJ. Of course I'm not gonna get it on Big Man. I'm just gonna do my actual combo. Oh my god, Big Man, please. Yes. No, oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while. This is it. There we go. Okay. I think this is still in the game, but just mash SSJ as soon as you're out. You're gonna fall over there. Well, I guess I'm sorry, it's certain, I'm not gonna go through it to get all the spacing, but I think, like, if you space it so, like, you end up right next to me, if you wake up SSJ on frame 1, I'm pretty sure you get punished and not hit. I'm pretty sure, because there's a lot of delay on it. That might have been patched out. That was definitely a thing early on. I think it still is, but, yeah. But keep that in mind.
Yeah, moral of the story is you want to make sure it kills.
Yeah, make sure it kills. If you use your OTG in the combo, make sure the level 3 just kills them. You don't have to worry about this at all. Or if it doesn't, make sure you didn't use your hard knockdown. That way you can tar, and that way it'll kill. Yeah, level 3 is pretty straightforward. You kind of just a damage extender, not really used for much else. And then her level 5. I really don't feel like talking about this because they nerfed it so bad. It's not really that good. Here we go. It's down, 2 kicks. dropped it, but you get an idea. You down 2 kicks. Light punch does the rings that way. Medium punch does the rings that way. Hard punch does the rings really slow. Pressing light kick makes the light kick George come out. Medium kick makes the medium kick George come out, and hard kick makes the 3 plane. So you kind of just learn a momentum thing. I do this. And like sometimes it works.
So you're hitting light punch and all the kicks?
I'm like strumming the kick buttons and I'm just pressing light punch in between. I don't really know if that even works anymore. It's not that good of a super. It's not that good. I don't really see the point in it.
I think I heard it say you can just like open palm, like slap all the
That's
buttons.
another thing, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, it's okay. It's gotten nerfed a lot. It does a lot less damage. It explodes at the end. If you explode at the end or something. I don't use it at all because I play double mid on all of my teams. I don't play your anchor. If you play her mid, you're pretty much never going to be in the situation where you actually have 5 meters. Because when you play her mid, you spend the meter. Your point is the battery to build all the meter, and then double comes in and uses, oh, I don't know, this amazing super, or this amazing super, or this amazing super. It's funny how all of them come. But yeah, so I don't really do it. Anchor doubles do it, kind of, like Cloud and Duck. And both of them, like, you pretty much only do it in the situation of, there's 2 situations where you do level 5. You got a combo on them. Level 3 won't kill. Nothing else will kill except level 5, and you have the 5 meters, which has happened a little less because there's scenarios now where you do the level 5 and they still don't die because the damage got nerfed. Or, which is fine, like it was really dumb how much damage it did, but now it's kind of just like, I think I'm forever going to be an advocate of 2 Catheads and a monster is way scarier than doing 5 more. I will forever believe that. I think the fact that you get 2 Catheads and 1 Puddle for the price of 1 Tiki is like not even comparable.
Right.
Or if the second situation, if you don't want to do the touch of death or the close to touch of death, on incoming, you're double on incoming. That's one of your glaring weaknesses. That your incoming's not good. We'll go there, but your incoming's not that good. You can do this in the air. You have 5 meters. You just drop on top of them, and if it hits them, then like you can maybe do something.
Is it an overhead?
Huh?
Is it an overhead?
Block up. And it's an overhead, ladies and gentlemen. So you can like do that, I guess, or something. Where like on incoming, you actually waste all 5 of your meters to do it. You're almost guaranteed to not go jump above me. Jump. There we go. So jump. You're like guaranteed to not actually get this all combo all the way. Unless, of course, there you go. So it's probably going to drop and you won't get that much damage and you'll waste the 5 meters, but you'll get them off of you. So if it's both in a situation where you're both about to die, you're both at your last character, it's a gamble the way you can maybe do it. But I don't know, it's like, yeah, that's the thing you can do, I suppose. There's a lot of counterplay to it. It's really bad full screen against a lot of characters. Tagging a double. And just like, there you go. Alright, I'm just gonna do it.
Oops. Meant to... Oh my god, I'm still in hits.
There you go. So, Car just beats it. If you just Car on the right... Well, how about this? You do level 5. You can just Car straight out on the other side and just punish it for free. Even if there's a bunch of stuff on the screen, it doesn't make a difference. There's a lot of characters with counterplay to it. Parasol can just scope it. There's a lot of counterplay, so it's not even that good to just do. That's really the 2 situations where you do it. If it's going to kill them, and as a, like, I've given up hope reversal. So that's what it's for, I guess. Oh yeah, and then it explodes at the end. Yeah, so it's, I don't know, I play mid doubles, so I don't really think it's that great. And then even the anchor doubles, aka the people who would even be using it, don't really use it much anymore. It's just strictly used in a scenario where it's gonna kill, and they have the 5 meters. But,
I guess we should cover though. the input for exploding is well, I guess you automatically explode at the end, right?
Yeah.
But then you can also do it manually with quarter circle back and 2 kicks. Or I guess just 1 kick works too.
Yeah, so you explode by doing that manually, so yeah. But that super's gotten like significant. So it's pretty much, if you play anchor double on your team, it's something worth learning, like learning the patterns and get all the right stuff. Some people do, but you can just like literally open palm your stick. Pad players have like this thing that they do. Your goal is to like get the light punch rings to hit them in between the bombs. That's kind of what you're going for. You want all the bombs to hit, because that's where all the damage is. And then you just like get a light punch ring to like keep them there so it hits them all. That's kind of what you go for. So that's pretty cool. And then
apparently it's apparently puncher kicks doesn't matter. You can just do quarter circle back, whatever.
Oh, so that's how you do that.
And also it does damage to you.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's a little bit of damage to yourself. So the last 2 things to touch up on before we actually get to like playing this character by strict buttons is her snap and her tag. Her snap is just a snap, I guess. It looks cool. It's decent. It hits at a good range. It's not like a terrible snap. Snap is, by the way, done by pressing both medium buttons and quarter circle forward. And it costs 1 meter, and you get a character out of your choice. For medium punch, if you do, since Cilia's on the top, you see at my opponent's screen. You see the Cilia's at point, and let's say I want double to come out. You do quarter circle forward and 2 medium. Double. And now double's on point, but I want Big Bang to come out. He's the 3rd one. You do quarter circle forward and both hard kicks. Hard punch and hard kick. So just to let people know who are very, very new to the game, that's how that works. But double's okay. I don't know. It's very similar to sweep. Like everybody has one. It's kind of just very. But snapbacks you kind of just use as a way to like stop armor or like segment, or you use it as like, oh wow, they tagged out double. Let's pretend that I'm hitting Big Band and they tagged out double a second ago, and double's like a hit away from dying. Like double's bleeding, like she's very close to dying, and Big Band has all of his health. I don't want to waste my time with Big Band, I want double out here so I can kill her. Then that's what you do. So you use it as a way to do like mix up and mix and match their team order, maybe mess them up on their assists, so that doesn't really work when people are good. But
I guess also if you're playing double solo, it'll let her recover health.
Yeah, if you're playing double solo, snapbacks let you recover red health, and a little bit more so, for the people out there that want to play double solo. That is the thing that they added. That's pretty cool, I guess, if you're a solo player and if you play the game at all any other way, it's probably not that cool, but if you're a solo player, it's fun, I guess. So, yeah. But yeah, snapback, it's a snapback. Everybody's snapback is kind of universal in terms of frames and everything, so it's not but its utility's good, its hitbox is good, it's good for double. And then her tag, it's funny. It comes in like that, comes in like that. I think, is the second hit an overhead? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, no.
I'm pretty sure it's not anymore. Yeah, it's not. They're all mids. Yeah, it's funny. People do it a lot by accident. I do it as like I'm playing at home online. I don't really care, and I just want to get out and just see if it works, because sometimes it'll hit them. If it hits them, you get a combo, like for sure. Like you actually get like a little bit of a conversion. But and there's like burst bait setups, like the legendary.
Oh yeah.
Where like you can snap if you like burst with the first hit of the raw tag, like they burst right here, you're off the screen, and the second hit will be the counter hit burst punish. So like, yeah, that exists. But her raw tag, obviously, compared to what she's working with in the other characters in this game, is not that amazing. It's okay. It's definitely not something like Bella, where it's like, oh, I'm on defense and I'm like dealing with stuff, I'll just do it. It doesn't really work that way. It's okay. It's cool looking. It just kind of shows up. Just dips. He just slides in the DM. But it's like pretty okay. You have the cool burst bait setups, but there's better burst bait setups. And stuff like that. It's okay. So now we're moving on to her actual neutral game and her movement, fast falling, dash jumping, flesh stepping. Her movement is really, really good. She has a really, well, decently good. Her walk's okay. But Skullgirls, she's not really walking much. Her forward dash is ridiculous because it's Parasol. Parasol's bad. But her forward dash is also ridiculous, therefore doubles her dash. Back dash sucks. This sucks. I hate this. This sucks so bad. It's really bad. So, you're probably gonna do by accident. People are gonna like bait you with advanced, like bait you to push block, and then like you try to push block and you get backdash. And it sucks. So they're gonna hit you. Your backdash sucks. It's not really that good. I hate backdash. But yeah, it makes you make up for it because your forward dash is good. Your jump is decent. Your jump is very strong. Nice speed, nice arc. You have double jump, and you press. If you're in the air and you press up again, you get a double jump. She doesn't get a triple jump or anything crazy, but she has a double jump, which is really, really, really good in this game. Having a double jump is sick, especially doubles. Her double jump is very solid for her toolkit and everything that she has. So that's it. There's no air dash. There's no flight. You know, that's it. Pretty straightforward, but very useful. She's similar to Parasol, where like her movement options aren't super there, and like she doesn't have many, but her buttons do most of the talking. Fast falling with her is ridiculous and cool. Fast falling is when you press like a normal, and then you cancel it into the startup of another normal to fall fast, depending on what that second normal is, and then you get like crazy stuff from it. So I'm just gonna do a jump hard punch with like no frills. Alright, yeah, that's cool. But just block, please.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm I guess go in the corner, I guess.
I mean, you could just
block.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So alright, so that's okay. Little not like as amazing as I'd like. Come down a little slow. How do I fix this? Well, now I'm gonna press jump hard punch. But then I'm going to cancel it into, not cancel, well, I guess. I'm going to chain it into jump hard kick in the air. You see what just happened for everyone at home? You can see the startup, well that was a failed one, but you see how I like literally fall out of the jump hard punch animation. Because here, when I don't do anything, I get all 3 hits. Double is blocking all 3 hits. Now she only blocks 1, and then things get a little weird. Double is one of the first characters that ever had a really big development in her fast fall game because it was so clean and so simple. And there's a lot of buttons. Jump hard kick is just ridiculous for this thing. It just comes out at like this perfect time, and even if you mess it up, you get that, so it's not really the end of the world. You know, like you still get the block stun and all this crazy stuff, so it's not even like it's a terrible thing to happen if you screw it up. If you don't screw it up, you get like really good advantage on your aerials, so really, really useful. Jump hard punch into jump hard kick is like the bread and butter, really, really strong one. Another really, really good one is jump medium kick, jump hard kick fastball. So once again, this is jump medium kick, no frills, no strings attached. 2 hits, pretty cool. But then all of a sudden I go into jump hard kick and it gets a little bananas. It gets a little weird. You can do it with any button that like chains after. So like you can't jump medium kick, I obviously can't fast fall into jump light punch because that's going backwards. You can't go backwards, you can only go forwards in terms of strength. So a medium, obviously the next thing that comes after that is a hard. And then hard's trade, so it's just like a hard punch can fast fall into a hard kick. A hard kick can, well, jump hard kick can. Yeah, so jump medium kick into jump hard kick's ridiculous. It's pretty good with hard punch too. Jump hard punch is ridiculous. Jump medium punch is ridiculous. She has a really, really, really good fastball that really makes up for a lot of her neutral.
And I guess it's probably worth mentioning that the like multi-hitting air moves, if you block the first hit high, like the rest of it's mid, right?
Yeah, that's another good thing to note, is that this is a high until you block the rest of it, and then it just becomes a mid. And same thing with jump hard punch, same thing with jump hard kick, same thing with all of them. That's one thing to note, very good point. But yeah, her fastball game is ridiculous. It really helps her neutral, it really helps her pressure, it really helps keeping you safe, it helps keeping you at an advantage. It's really important to know. It's kind of easy to learn. You're just like, all right, jump hard punch, they're blocking, all right, jump hard punch, and then you kind of just figure it out. So that's a huge part of her game, huge part of her neutral game, huge part of her block strings with pressure, very, very important to learn. Her next thing is dash jumping. Dash jumping is really important to her. Dash jump is when it's pretty self-explanatory. In the middle of your dash, you try to kind of what it is. So I'm just gonna do a normal jump. Go all the way to the other side of the screen. I'm just gonna do a normal jump. All right, so I end up by the window, I guess. Pretty cool. Now I'm gonna do a dash jump. Wow, what a crazy, crazy change. You get all the way over there just because I did dash and then a jump. So it really helps, and doubles is really, really good. But then, oh, wait a minute, I double jump back. Aha! So now you see where I'm going. With the double jump, you get a lot of mix-ups. It's very similar. If for some reason any of you played a lot of third strike Oro, that's where I came from. That's why I really started learning a lot about double. Because when I picked up double, I come from a third strike background, and her double jump works literally pretty much the same as Oro's in utility. You jump in, jump out, mix them up, come back with a button. You jump in, neutral jump, make them whiff a button, come down. There's a lot. Just because she has a double jump, that alone adds a lot of creativity to your neutral game in terms of the ways you can mix up how they approach what you're doing. So, and then her super jump is also really, really good. So if you dash jump with a super jump, that's a little bit harder because you gotta go down and then up. It's a little hard to do clean, but that's also really good. She gets a lot of distance. But then once again, you don't have to go forward every single time. You go back, get a little weird. So her double jump is a huge part of everything, and her dash jump is really, really good. Covers a lot of space. And it's really, really good against zoners. Dealing with Robo and Peacock, if you want any chance against either of those characters, you have to learn how to dash jump. You have to learn. You have no shot if you don't. If they know what they're doing and you don't dash jump, you can't win. It's that bad. You need to have your dash jumps just clean because it breaks the gap in such a safe and convincing, simple way that it's just so important. I can't stress it enough. That's one of those things you practice for 20 minutes. Just literally doing nothing but dash jumping if you struggle with it. And they don't have to be super perfect, TAS frame 1 freaking dash jumps, but just understanding how to do it and counting on it and having it be a thing you can rely on is super important. Do you have any water? Cut. Oh my god.
It's got my cooties on it, but
that's not a problem. Now it's got my cooties on it, so he's gonna burn his water jug now. So yeah, those are the biggest things with her movement and just her neutral game. Fast falling, super important. Dash jumping is, I think, one of the most underlooked things. People don't bring it up as much as they should when talking about double. It's super important in so many matchups and just so many parts about your movement. So that's super, super important. So. And flesh depth. Flesh depth we touched up on a little bit already, but that's another decently important one for, once again, dealing with zoners. It has projectile invincibility to some degree. It's really hard to set it as an example. You kind of just have to mess around with it and practice it. Set the dummy.
I guess SBO would be probably the best way to show it.
Good one, or you set the dummy to peacock patterns. You learn a peacock zoning pattern. And you just try to deal with it with flesh depth. It's not easy. It's not guaranteed. Oh, the projectile's right there and you flesh step, you're going through it. It's pretty strict timing, so you gotta keep it pretty close. You can't really be all fuddy-duddy with it. But it's solid and it's a good part of her neutral game and a really good part of her mix-up game. But her movement, it doesn't really come up a lot in her movement per se, just because it's a little slow and there's no mix-up to it. A forward dash, I can mix up where I'm going way more quick. I can jump forward, I can jump back right after, I can double jump and come in. Flesh step, I'm kind of committed. It's this is what I'm doing. So it's not super, super, super amazing in that regard, but it's, still something that's important in her neutral game. Zoning is the next thing we're going to touch up on. Zoning is just like more of a full screen, what you kind of want to do when you're very, very far away and what your tools are. We also kind of touched up on that. Jump hard punch is like one of your best full screen pokes. You're like more than half screen level poke. Light punch Luger, full screen. It's pretty uncontestable. Unless they like literally whip punish with car, like what he just did right there. It's not really going to happen. But then like there's a lot of situations where one, the double won't have meter. Or two, you're not going to be playing against double. And double's kind of the only one that has a true answer to that outside of like, there's very few other examples. But bottom line is like 8 times out of 10, just doing this, you're kind of like scot-free. They're not going to like hard punish you. So it's like, it helps close in the gap. Crouch hard punch is an amazing like poking tool. Very important spacing, poking, footsie tool. Same thing with stand hard punch. Very, very, very useful. But her zoning, obviously, it's not like to the level of Peacock or Robo. It just has a very basic, simple zoning that helps, like, you want to go in. You don't want to stay here the whole time, you know? You want to close the space, close the gap, hit them with the resets, hit them with the mix-ups, hit them with your stuff. So she has a very good set of tools to help you achieve that, but she doesn't have a good set of tools to keep you here forever. That's not, if you're playing double and that's what you want to do, that's you're playing wrong here. You just play like Peacock or Rogue. Like, this is not double. Like this is not her in the shell. It has a lot of counterplay. You just jump over. It's not nearly as aggressive as the other zoners. But her zoning's still there. She still has a projectile. There's some characters that don't. You know, definitely just plays a very neutral, solid ground game using your hard punches. Using your M Luger up close, your light Luger very far away, your crouch light kick. She just has a very, very strong ground game with her zoning and all that. And just overall, just what you're looking for is just like good spacing with your crouch light kick to try to get an opening. Good spacing with your stand medium punch even. Good spacing with your crouch hard punch. One of the biggest things that separates the men from the boys is how good you are at confirming crouch hard punch. This is cool on hit, like you get a little bit of damage, but if you like get really good, like a good way to practice this at home is you set the AI to a random block. So like you like, okay, all right, it's hitting them, it's hitting them, it's hitting them, and then like you read if they're blocking. So obviously, if you block, you don't do anything. You don't do anything. You do crouch hard punch, you do the gun. You do the thing every time. If they're blocking, that way it's more safe. But if you see the hit and you're like, okay, this crouch hard punch hit them, that's when you do the slide, and that's when you really get the damage. Because look, now I'm freaking winning so hard. I got the mix-ups. So that's one of the biggest things that even most double players struggle with. It's a very hard hit confirm, but it's one of those things that's worth practicing because it makes your neutral game way scarier. If you just turn this into damage every time, like you're a beast. But once again, if they block, just block. Really unsafe. People used to just go into monster. That doesn't work anymore. It's totally unsafe now, and you totally get punished for it. I swear to God,
wow.
you do.
I mean, try to. Yeah. There we go.
Like super clean. You can get a better punish, but like a throw is like guaranteed. It's not real anymore. Some double players like will tell you it is if they're like literally that under a rock, but it's not real anymore. So don't think you can do that. There's no way to make it safe. You have to take your lumps if that happens. Unless like you do like this in a car into safe DHC, then I guess that's a little different. But you know what? If you're only double, take your lumps. So you have to learn to confirm. That's one of the biggest things. And just mastering this button is really good. Learning like, oh, I got the sliding knockdown. That's another thing that's important with dash jumping. It's like, oh man, how am I gonna get there in time? Just get like one dash jump in, you're there. One dash jump and a dash, and you're there, like so easy. It's another important thing. But yeah, her neutral's pretty straightforward, honestly. But it's one of those things, it's like easy to learn, hard to master. Just like most things in this game. But yeah, crouch light kick, stand medium punch, stand hard punch, crouch hard punch. You have a lot of really strong ground game tools, obviously. Your Lugers and everything like that. Jump hard kick for pressure and all that. Really useful stuff. So next is her air-to-air. Doubles air jump normals are ridiculous. I know I touched up on that, but like they're really, really insane. Her toolkit in the air is immaculate. Mixed up with the double jump, with this jump hard punch, with this jump medium kick, with this jump light punch. She's one of the few characters where literally all 6 of her jump-in normals have purpose. Like all 6 of them. Outside of just combo fodder. Like every character has like combo fodder jump aerials. Like A good example would be like, I don't know, Parasol's jump medium punch. There's certain scenarios where like if they're above you, you can hit them, but it's mostly combo fire. All of Double's buttons are useful in a lot of situations. Jump light kick's useful as an air-to-air when they're below you, and a good jump in, like a low commitment jump in. Jump light punch is a ridiculous air-to-air that's really, really fast and stops pressure. Jump medium punch is a really, really good multi-hit jump in that's a really good air-to-air. Jump hard punch is like all freaking purpose. Jump hard kick's an amazing pressure tool that helps like close the gap and create space. Jump medium kick is an amazing air-to-air that Cloud and Duck utilize way more beautifully than I ever could. That just like really sets up stuff really, really well. Is that thunder?
Yeah, it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's raining up in the city right now, but yeah. So all of her jump-ins are useful, and learning when to use all of them and what situations really, 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 really help. And then her air-to-air game is absurd. Like if they jump in on you, very few characters can stop you. Like Parasol can, and like there's some that can stop you, but a lot of characters have a hard time getting in trouble when both of you are in the air. Jump hard punch is really good. Her conversions got so ridiculous. One of the biggest things is that jump hard punch, if you haven't played the game in a while, jump hard punch like pushes them downward like that instead of like air to air. So you kind of just don't even have to do any of the hard stuff anymore with jump hard punch. You kind of just dash, or like not even, and you just get a conversion. But sometimes you press a different button. So what do? You basically, that's one of the things I'm really proud of that I really like that my double incorporates is really solid air-to-air and conversions. So what happens if you get like a jump medium punch, right? They're not going down. What do? You want to just do a bunch of your multi-hit normals to, well, for starters, you can just take the easy way out and like just do jump hard punch. I forgot. You just chain it and now you get it for free. But if you want to mix it up a little and like get a little bit more bang for your buck, you can do stuff like this where you do jump medium punch, jump hard kick, and just do crazy stuff like that where you have enough. You literally jump hard kick gives you so much time to freaking land that you can just do stuff like this where you just hard kick, land, button, hard kick, land, and just do crazy stuff. So that's kind of the key to your air-to-air conversions. It's really, really easy. You look for a way to pretty much land and do hard gun or keep going for damage. And not mess up again. But yeah, her air-to-air game is really, really good, and converting from the air is really, really efficient. So that's another really important thing that is worth doing. So, that's important. So her air-to-air game is ridiculous. Her air-to-air conversions are ridiculous, and they got a lot easier because of the jump hard punch change. So you can kind of just do that if you want, or you can be cool to do the gun, hard kick stuff. So that's really, really important. So her air-to-air game is amazing, and learning how to do these jump normals with a combination of fast falling is what really is going to set you up to be a strong double player in this game. Next is her anti-air game. Her anti-air game is pretty good. Her air-to-airs, I feel like she's more of a character where her ground anti-airs aren't as amazing. It's just like reading with air-to-air. But I feel like that's the case for most characters in this game. But she has a couple anti-airs. Like we were talking about earlier, hard punch gun is really good. You just
yeah, hold on. 1, 2.
You get all that, so that's pretty cool. And we went over it earlier, like that. This answer to instant air dashing is amazing. Not really good for much else. It's not a good like traditional anti-air. Like against double, it wouldn't be that useful, but against IAD, really, really, really good. That's kind of it, really. Her air-to-airs really do more of the talking in terms of stopping an opponent from approaching the air. You beat them to it with your amazing air button. But you have options on the ground. I'm trying to think if there's any. Okay. So, like I said earlier, some people say stand hard kick. I don't think this has ever worked out for me. I would stay away. It's not that good with hitbox.
Keep going. We just that good part.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't really go that much above you. Kind of, it doesn't stay out that long. It's like okay. Once again, mostly a month. But your other air-to-airs, in this and this against IAD, pretty much just sets it up for you. Reversals. Pretty much your reversal options, like we went over, are Electric Bomber. So you got that into Monster, or Cats, or Car, or level 3, or level 5, any super you want. So that's your meterless reversal. And then keep in mind, once again, it's really unsafe. And once again, I just go into, if they block, I just go into Monster. That's also just not safe. So don't think this is safe. It's not safe at all. I literally was holding down back, and he counter-hit me. You literally should never be doing that. It's a waste of meter. Catheads, I think, Catheads, I think, isn't... It's like a little real, but you're still using the 2 meters. And it's definitely easier to PVGC than it used to be. So that's something to keep in mind, but yeah, if you don't have the 2 meters, you're kind of just screwed. And yeah, so that's your meterless reversal. Car, once again, is a fully invincible, like, uncontestable reversal, but there is counterplay.
Damn it. I was trying to do.
You can just basically, what that is about to do is just go all the way through with an invincible move. Not that one, because Gregor sucks.
Okay, I was too late.
Just do double light bomber. That's an easy thing.
Too early. There we go.
So there's counterplay. So if you do it real close, like do it from here. Do it to me. Car. Oh. Oh no. Alright, strike him. And then you just punish on the way back. So there's a lot of counterplay to it. So it's a good reversal for sure. Because if it hits, you're so golden. Chances are you have a j.HK that gives you something. And then you're so golden. So that's like a good thing. But good reversal, but really, really bad if it's all you have. If you don't have a safe j.HK, there's a lot of counterplay to it, and if they block it, your goose is cooked. They have a very, very strong punish waiting for you that's gonna hurt a lot. And then your next reversal is level 3. Mostly happens when people try to match Car and they are on the wrong side and they accidentally get level 3. That's mostly when this happens. But it is like a true reversal, and if it works out, you get a hard knockdown because you didn't actually waste OTG because you didn't do a combo, and then you get a Car additional if you want to do that. But it's like, okay, it's okay. The hitbox isn't that good. It's really easy to bait. If they bait it, you wasted 3 meters. There's better, just do Car. That way at least you only wasted 1 meter. There's very few situations where I actually meant to do level 3, where I'm trying to play a serious match. And then we said earlier, level 5 is also another true level, a true reversal. But it's just you can, I guess. So her reversal game is not that spectacular, if you can already tell. It's one of her main is that her reversals are, while they exist, they're not spectacular compared to what is available in the game. So next we're going to talk about useful assists. So useful assists from Double are what I'm using right now is pretty much my baby, Light Kick Bomber. It's her reversal. So what that means is there's startup, there's invincibility on startup. It's hard to really showcase. If you play someone that's using Light Kick Bomber, it's very quick to tell that it has two hits of block stun, 2 hits, so it's great to set up block stun and pressure and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Very useful assist, easy to convert off of for most characters because they don't fall that far away. So it's very easy to get a conversion and a mix up and crazy stuff like that. So that's her first really, really good assist. She doesn't really have a best assist. It really all depends on your team. But Light Kick Bomber is one of them. Her next really, really good assist is Medium Kick Bomber, where it's the other one, but this one. So it's hard to showcase. I don't really feel like leaving it, but there's no invincibility. But now what you get is 3 hits. It does a little bit more damage, covers a little bit more space, a little bit better from neutral, a little bit better.
There are still 2 hits.
No, it's 3.
Wait, so you're talking about medium or?
Medium, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so medium bomber is really good. For a lot of characters, Valentine being one of the main. It's just like she can literally go all the way and get that conversion in time because they go pretty far. It doesn't have the invincibility, but it's really, really solid as just a mix-up assist. Really good as, I think you have it. Do you have it or do you have Light Bomb?
Let's find out. Oh, my assist macro's not working.
Yeah, medium bomber 6. Yeah, so it's really good. Once again, it's similar to medium bomber on points where you can crouch it, but then you just hit me with an IAD overhead anyway, or you just like set it up. And it's really easy to convert off of for most characters. Another very, very, very solid. Light kick bomber and medium kick bomber are very, very good. Very good assist. Another very good assist is hard kick bomber, where it's not as common as it was anymore as it used to be. It has very few, because now it's getting a little hard. It's okay, light kick if I hit you. That was silly. Light kick if I hit you. With it, it's easy to convert off of for most every character in the game. You don't end up that far away. Medium kick bomber, alright, you end up a little far away, but if I have a character with a run or something like Valentine, I can pretty much get there in time. Hard kick bomber and assist, you're really far, so it's really hard to actually get a conversion. And that's kind of what you want with an assist like that, is that you want a way to convert into damage. So it's not super amazing for a lot of characters, but there's some where it really is does well off. Examples of this would be Big Band, Peacock, Painwheel. There's certain characters where hard kick bomber is an option for assist, but you can also just do medium kick bomber with all 3 of those characters too and get similar results. But Peacock is kind of, I really like Peacock hard bomber, but there's all 3 bombers all do different things. It's Parasol, I recommend light kick bomber because her dash doesn't really go that far. So if it was a medium kick bomber, I probably would have to struggle way more to get the conversion as opposed to light kick bomber. Right there, see right there, I didn't even waste OTG. I'm in there. So it's really useful for characters like that, for Kua. Pretty much everybody is not bad with light kick bomber. It's a really good invincible on startup 2-hitting assist. But then there's some characters like Valentine and Filio where medium kick bomber is just so amazing. And so yeah, all 3 of her bombers are all used for different things and all have different strengths and weaknesses that you just learn with your team synergy. But pretty much, if you have double on your team, you can use one of the bombers and it'll work out for you. You just have to find out which one, regardless of the character. The 4th and final assist, pretty much, people are going to get kind of weird and specific, but this is the last one I'm going to talk about that's worth your time, is Cilia Slide. Cilia Slide is an assist that's recently been a little bit more developed. There's about like 2 people in the world that have ever used it to like efficiency. Pen is the one recent one that you really want to watch. You're totally capable of watching at Combo Breaker, who made very great use of Cilia Slide with Parasol and Beowulf. But there's also, from Japan, I'm sure there's plenty of Japanese VODs you can try to find there. And then there's also Age from Australia that used Bella Cilia Slide that utilized its really cool potential where like you got conversions mid-screen with Bella that you would never get unless you called Cilia Slide. Like you would do Dynamo mid-screen, you don't get a conversion. What do? You press forward, hard punch, and Cilia Slide, and then you get a conversion. But then Big Bang came out and Beat Extend just does that for you. So it's like whatever. So that kind of put a whole dampen that mood a little bit. But Cilia Slide is good assist.
I guess Robo Fortune's the other character who like makes good use of assists that like drag you towards her like
sure.
that.
There's plenty of characters that make good use of it for sure.
Like Big Band.
It's a very far low that hits them towards you. So there's a lot of characters that can use that to some efficiency. Beowulf uses it in spades. Parasol uses it pretty well, even though I prefer Light Bomber. Robo, like he just said, there's uses for it and there's characters, but there's a lot of people where it's just not their style. It's a very uncommon assist. Like I said, there's pretty much only 2 people that have used it to any level of success. Sage is working on a Cilia Slide team, I think, right now or something, but in terms of tournament results, it's Age from Australia, and most of those VODs are outdated at this point, and no one else has really utilized it. But thanks to Pen, maybe this will be the rise of more Cilia Slide teams. And then there's other people that do it, but in terms of like actual placements, it's kind of just who it is. Everybody else that plays double in the world plays light bomber or medium bomber, and then now it's to the point where hard bomber is almost as uncommon as Cilia Slide. So those are pretty much your 4 assists. They're really worth your time as double. In terms of useful assists for double, meaning I'm on point and I want good assists for double, the characters I'm playing, it's not a bad start. Pillar's ridiculous. Pillar is one of my favorite assists. It's a DP, really strong DP, it's invincible on startup, but it has like a really good pop to get these conversions started for the character. It's really easy to turn that into something. I'm just playing really bad right now, but yeah, there you go. So you just get something like that. It's invincible. You get it takes a little while to come out, so you can get some tricky stuff going with it. Like both Updo too. Philly Updo is a really good assist. Pretty much, Double's a pretty simple character, so she doesn't have like any weird like pseudo. Oh, this assist is good, but it's only good for double. Pretty much every assist you can think of that's good in this game is good for double. Beat Extend is amazing for double. Big Band's DP is amazing for double. Brass is not much worse. It's also a really, really good assist. Parasol's good assist, Napalm Pillar and Napalm Shot are both amazing for double. Bakua Drill, I think, is like probably top 3. This assist just works with double so well. You just get so much off of it. You get crazy conversions. Sonic Fox is another wonderful example of this. Just you get insane conversions with it, that you wouldn't normally get. If they block, it still stays pressure. Just really good assist that just sets up so much dirty stuff. It's probably in their top 3. So yeah, like once again, that's not uncommon. There's plenty of characters that are amazing with drill. So it's just like drill, pillar, the big band assists, Terracopter, lock and load. The world's kind of your oyster. Because like I said, I never brought this up actually yet, but one of the biggest things about Double, it's a really good trait as to why you want her on a team, is that she's a very strong glue. And what I mean by that is the assists that she provides are amazing for pretty much everybody. The assists that she works with are pretty much all the viable current meta assists that you would see on any team. And then her supers, as you couldn't tell, most of them end up being like some of the best supers in the game. So having safe DHCs are a huge thing as to why you see her on so many teams. Because having a safe DHC in this game is extremely helpful. And just having amazing assists is extremely helpful. She just covers so many bases. She builds meter pretty well so you can run her point. She uses meter better than most characters so you can run her mid. And then her assist is so good, and the level 5 comeback thing is pretty good and everything, where like Anchor with her isn't as good as it used to be, but it's still very strong. And she's probably, like, to put it in perspective, she's like one of the better point characters you can play. In my opinion, I think she's the best mid character you can play, period, if it's on a trio team. And then she's probably like top like 4 or 5 Anchor in the game, probably like top 5 Anchor in the game. Maybe very few characters. It's like Bella's better, Big Band's better, Gula's better, Eliza's better, probably 5th. So very strong characters. She covers all the bases. That's the biggest thing. So yeah, in terms of useful assists, just like useful assists for anybody. Like any good assist you can think of in this game probably works with double. There's nothing really weirdly specific that is only an assist that works for double. The closest thing I can think of is Excella, the Bella anti-air grab thing. But once again, Valentine's amazing with that assist. Big Band's amazing with that assist. There's plenty
Squiggly's
of
amazing, Beowulf's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of characters that are good with it. But double, it's not an assist that's for everybody. And double falls in that category to where it's good for.
Which is good for her, because then if you're playing a team with Beowulf and Bella and you're using Excella Bella for Beowulf, like double's also cool with that.
Be right there. Okay. Oh, it's right there. I forgot. I thought we put it back. But yeah. So just jack of all freaking trades. And now we're going to talk about how to play against double for everybody here that's wondering, like, man, this character's annoying, but I don't really want to play her. How do I deal with it? Well, she has a couple of glaring weaknesses. They're not absolutely absurd, but she definitely has a couple of weaknesses that are very vivid. What we talked about earlier, her reversals are not that great. yeah, this is invincible, but you know what you can do? You can jump over it. You can neutral jump completely and just stop it. That auto-corrected, that's really funny. Yeah, jump over it. I'm like unsafe for days. There's mad recovery. It's very unsafe. So on her reversals are not spectacular. If she has no meter, you can just go ham. You just obliterate me. Her incoming game that we talked about earlier, if she's incoming, like you kill the character, you snapped out, and she's coming in, doesn't have spectacular options. She has one air super, costs 5 meters, and it doesn't even net me that much. Not as much as Painwheel or Valentine or Fortune or anything like that. So it's not really that spectacular. And just in general, if you reset her in the air, she's kind of paper, no air super. But what she does have is Jump Light Punch. Jump Light Punch on the way down is a very, 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 very good way to stop like certain fake-ish resets that kind of give you a little bit of an opening to press something. Jump Light Punch kind of stops that. But if the person you're playing uses real resets that are very tight, like a very aggressive Cilia that has very strong resets with very little gaps and stuff like that, you don't really get to do that, and you kind of have to guess, and it's hard. You will die. So she kind of just explodes. There's a lot of characters like that, though, but another weakness is that she's tall. That's not a good attribute in this game. You can get a lot of fuzzy guards going. You can hit her with a lot of block strings that don't really exist with other characters. Obviously, this isn't exclusive to her. Big Van's tall, Eliza's tall. But there's other characters that are shorter than her that don't have to worry about this. Double is tall, so you have to worry about it. Another thing is that she's, while her movement and her mobility is pretty strong, it's mostly strong in the sense that her buttons are really, really good. So it's one of those things where it's just like, her movement's good, but it's not the best. Her speed is pretty good, but she's not the fastest, you know? So she kind of like is in this middle ground. It isn't really a weakness per se, but you can kind of take advantage of that. Just like really find a way to get in and just not let me leave. Like my like options to leave aren't that amazing. Like jump hard kick, you can like move around that and stuff like that. Other things is you can force me to waste meter. A lot of double players will just like get really scared, myself included. Most double players will just get scared and try to burn meter and save DHC into. And while that's good, I wasted meter because you're blocking. Sooner or later, it's going to end unless I hit you. So that's one of those things. You can bait me out into spending a lot of meter for no reason. Her weakness, being tall. She doesn't have that many, man. She doesn't have like any glaring weaknesses. She's just very, very, very solid. But she's very fair. Her resets are kind of dirty, but they're not super dirty. Her damage, like I said earlier, is good, but it's not like amazing unless you get a very crazy good counter hit. But no, there's nobody left in the game that has bad counter hit damage. So it's just like, I don't know. She's just jack of all trades, master of none, dude. But in terms of things that just give her a hard time, it's just like very aggressive pressure, just very safe pressure, very low risk, low reward pressure. Like screws her up because if I have no way to like punish what you're doing, you can kind of just walk all over me because my resets are really, my reversals are. You can just kind of abuse that. And one more. But really like armor. That'd be one. Her dealing. She has Cilia slide, which I think still breaks armor. Do you like changing the big man to do brass?
Alright. 1, 2. 1, 2.
I don't even get the chance because brass is ridiculous.
2. There we go.
So it breaks armor. So she has that to break armor. She has monster to break armor. But in terms of jump-ins, unless you're jumping in with jump hard kick, jump hard punch is surprisingly not the best way to deal with armor. So you can put yourself in very like obvious positions with jump-ins and like stop it, I guess. But at the same time, it's not like she loses to armor. She just has a little bit of a tough time with armor.
And there are other characters that have it much worse.
Yeah, most characters do. It's just like I'm trying really.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to try it. Like she's just very solid.
Yeah, she's just very, very solid. She doesn't. She has a lot of things that she's not spectacular in. But she has a lot of things where she's not like struggling real hard. Yeah. Next would be now we're gonna get into the combos. So I'm not gonna get like too in depth with it because it's just like you can look most of this up on the internet. You just find notations of stuff.
And if people like suddenly find like better routes, like you're gonna want to check.
And then like things change, so like someone could find a better route.
But at the same time, like barrel loops have worked since like day one.
Yeah, barrel loops
so
have worked in multiple variations since the dawn of toying. So it's just one of those things. But I'm just gonna go over basically the barrel loop, and then like max range Cilia slide confirms, and then I'll just go over like other weird conversions. So to start with the barrel loop, the barrel loop is very, very easy. You just it takes a little time, but once you get it, you got it. It works on pretty much every character in the game to varying degrees, except Big Band. But there's obvious answers. Excuse me, to doing combos on Big Band. There's obviously a combo you can do on Big Band. We'll get to that later. But this barrel loop works on, I think, literally everybody else. What you do is you do whatever button you want. You do crouch light kick is probably going to be your starter, and then you do a medium. You can either do medium kicks or you can do medium punch into launch. That's ABC, right? That's pretty easy. So when you go in the air, now there's a decision you have to make. What I like to do to keep it all straight in my head is because of how IPS works in this game, you want to like I think of it like this. Your jump light punch, when you do it in the air, when you land, you want to make sure to do light punch because you stick with one button, and then when you do the light kick, you stick with the light kicks. What I mean by that is, I'm just going to do the whole combo right now, and I'll just show you what I mean. Jump light kick, I'm going to land, I'm going to do light kick. Now I do jump light punch, I'm going to land, I'm going to do light punch. You see what I'm saying? That way, like in your head, it's a little easier to like remember IPS. It's like, okay, I didn't use light punch, just stand light punch yet, because I did jump light punch. Like in a situation like this, like, all right, I did jump light punch. See, now I already messed up. I didn't even do that. I genuinely messed up because I did this light punch, so I thought light kick was next. I literally have that drilled in my brain. So it's simple. Talk about the execution of it. You launch, and then I always do jump light kick first. There's really no wrong answer. I just do jump light kick. You can do all the hits. I don't. I just do one. It's kind of weird on certain characters. I just do one hit, just instantly, just cancel. So you do that. You do one hit of jump light kick. Then you do all 2 hits of jump light kick. Then you cancel it into jump hard kick, right? And then you do barrel. You jump hard kick, of course you go back, barrel. If you do it right, they're gonna fall. And then the hit stun of the bird falling and hitting them gives you time to actually do the combo. So there you go. It's really easy to figure it out. And then it's just easy. You just think in your head like launch, light kick, bam. What do you do here? You stand light kick, you do the same thing you did to start the combo, and then you just keep it up. And that's a huge part of your combo game because it's really easy. And it's honestly, the damage doesn't go much higher from there. There's more viable combos, but a lot of people, top double players, myself included, just kind of can get away with just, oh, I hit them. I want to do a combo to kill them. This will kind of just do the job. It's like, how much damage does this do?
Oh wow, it does keep
So let's do the whole combo. It does about, assuming you end with car, you can end it with level 3 obviously, but assuming you end it with car, well, this is a
I'll give you the number. So that was 9,043 damage in 1.3 ratio, right?
There's
so
an actual calculator for it?
I mean, you just divide it by 1.3.
Oh, well, I'm stupid, so I don't know. I've never thought of it. Doing it with simple math. That's simple.
So it's like just shy of 7k.
Yeah, it's like just shy of like 6.9k, like 7k flat. So
Yeah,
it's like
6.95.
It's not like ridiculous damage, but it's simple damage, and it doesn't get much bigger. It's not like there's this secret 11k combo I'm not showing you guys. It's kind of what you do. So that's one of those things. A lot of people struggle with the barrel loop because they like get it mishmashed in their head. Just think of it like this: you did jump like when you come down, stand like. You did jump like when you come down, stand like. That's what I do in my head. That way you never mess up with the IPS because that's something I always struggled with. Getting into the game, I always messed it up. So now I literally have it ingrained in my head. Where I showed you earlier, I was trying to do a different example. I literally screwed up earlier than I was supposed to because it's so in my brain. So yeah, very simple combo. You only get to do 2 reps because of how Indizzy works now. So that's pretty much the easy way out of it. Next is the ground or Cilia slide stuff. Cilia slide is pretty much what you do. It's slowly becoming a better option just because this starter is very PBGCable and doing this is a lot better just as a block string. But then once you get the confirm and once you get it at max range, you just go into slide. So you go into slide and then the biggest thing is the obvious difference between these two is barrel loop doesn't use your OTG. This one does. So you don't want to, you mostly want to use this to get into resets. You never want to do the Cilia slide to end in car and then not kill them, because then that whole thing where they might be able to punish you, it happens. But the biggest thing with double is if you're not going to kill them with the combo, don't do the combo. Reset them. The resets are ridiculous, but we'll get to the resets later. But that's just something that always bothers me. Not top players, beginning players do all the time. They're just like, okay, oh my god, I hit them. Oh my god, what do I do? Okay, I guess I'll just do the whole combo. This literally doesn't even come close to killing them. I'm just gonna do the whole combo. Stop. Don't do that. Just reset them. We'll get to that later. But yeah, this is a pet peeve. So, max range, like crouch light kick, you won't, sometimes like this will mess up. It's not right now funny enough, but there we go. So like max range, man. Like that. Like the stand medium kick will whiff, but the stand medium punch, crouch hard punch slide, it won't. And then another good thing about this is you get a side switch. And what I mean by that is, oh man, I'm in the corner. If I do barrel loop, I kind of stay in the corner. I want to put them in the corner. How do I do that? Oh, I did it. I'm sick. And now you have them in the corner. And, well, it's not the best place ever for double. We'll get to that later. It's a good place. Never a bad place to have your own. So Cilia slide combos are pretty simple. You just do ABC, but instead of ABC with medium kick and hard kick, you do ABC with medium punch. Crouch hard punch. So then and then you do go into Cilia slide and they're over there. What do you do when you get them over there? You can do stand medium punch, or you can do crouch medium punch. Oh, I messed it up. You can do it's a little hard on certain characters. You can do crouch medium kick for certain characters where I prefer to do crouch medium kick, like Parasol, if I'm hitting Parasol. So then you do that. You do stand medium punch, crouch hard punch into flush step. You cancel the crouch hard punch in the flush step. See how, since they're OTG, or I mean, not OTG, since they're in the air, they bounce. So you cancel that into flush step. And then you do just anything. You do stand light punch on mid characters since they weigh a little less and they float a little more. You can get a medium kick and save your light punch for IPS. So the rule of thumb is if they're a very heavy character after this flesh step, you just do stand light punch. Like you don't, it will literally whiff. If you just do stand medium kick, it's gonna whiff. Like Big Band, it's not gonna whiff. But Affiliate, you can get the stand medium kick. It's just a matter of a little bit more damage and not using your stand light punch and IPS that early. And that's pretty much the starter. You just do this into this, and then this, and then the stuff you do after you like launch, and then like you kind of just pick and choose what you want to do. You can do jump medium punch, jump hard kick stuff. You can do jump medium kick, the dying art that no one does except me, where you fast fall like a freaking maniac. The one hit of the jump medium kick, cancel it, and a jump hard kick, but put them in the. People don't know about that. I'm gonna blow your mind in a second. I'm OD for that. But yeah, so I'm not gonna get too into it, but the starter is something I recommend everybody learn to adopt this a little more. Once you get really comfortable with the character, like I said, barrel loops are really, really good. and they're not terrible, and they're never going to be terrible. But there's certain situations where you really should learn to do Cilia slide, because there's certain ranges where you literally can't. Especially if you have an assist like drill, where you just literally get to do stuff like this. Like whatever. That like wasn't even close to optimal, but like that's just incredible stuff you can do with Cilia slide extension. So
and I guess the other thing with Cilia slide versus barrel loops is like corner carry versus damage.
Yeah, corner carry versus damage. Cilia slide damage usually ends up netting more. Usually get more, but yeah, like mid-screen barrel loops get you to the corner way better. But like in this situation where you're close, and then obviously if you already use the OTG, like off the throw, you can't Cilia slide because that this starter obviously uses your OTG very, very early in the combo, which is not a terrible thing because double doesn't really use OTG, but there's certain scenarios where that should do it. Next is the air confirms. We already kind of went over that. Jump hard punch just became such a freaking like easy to do button with this, so it's just like hard punch, easy conversion into whatever you want, or the jump hard kick stuff I was telling you earlier, where you want to like do that, where you see that the jump hard punch is hitting, and then you just you jump hard kick, jump medium punch, jump hard kick, hard punch, gun, land, dash over, stand medium punch. You just learn to get really sick with it. There's a lot of characters, double players you can watch. We all kind of have different conversions. That's kind of a me thing, the thing I just did. Sage has different ones. A lot of the newer double players just really adopted the whole, like, keep jumping. A lot of the new double players just adopted the whole, like this lifestyle where you get the easy jump hard punch conversion. So there's no really wrong answer to air-to-air conversions with double because they're all so versatile. They just get the job done. Just when they're in the air, hit them and get them into a combo where you can reset them with shenanigans. Because there's no reason. It's not like other characters, certain characters where some characters struggle with air-to-air. Like some characters, it's really hard, but not double. Not double. You can just, with the beauty of H-Gun and just how everything, all of her hits hit in the air, like it's very easy to just get things to happen for you. So we already touched up on our air-to-airs earlier, but yeah, just as a quick little recap for people that are timestamp. Just you want to either just hard punch because it just pops them, lowers them down to the ground for you, or like you see the conversion, jump hard kick, multi-hit, jump again. You don't have to jump again, you can just immediately hard gun or something. You just like keep them in the air or jump hard kicks, and then choose to land on the ground and do hard punch Luger. There's no wrong answer. You can do either. It's just really whatever you're comfortable with or whatever the situation allows you to do. Throw conversions. Throw conversions are really easy. You throw, you decide which range you're going to throw, like which way, if you throw back. On mid-weight characters like Cilia, Peacock, Fortune, you grab, you immediately flush step, and then you crash medium punch. And then you do whatever you want from there. Obviously, these won't work because you wasted your OTG from the throw. There's no way to not use the OTG from your throw. Mid-screen. So, mid-screen, if it's a mid character, like a mid-weight, you flush step into crash medium punch, into launch, or crash medium punch launch gun, into whatever you want. Mid-screen, not mid-screen, in the corner, you don't have to use your OTG. In the corner, you can medium kick, and stand medium kick and not waste your OTG. You can just jump hard, stand hard kick. You can also just waste your OTG if you want to do save. It's not really wasting it because double combos aren't really that crazy with OTG, so there's really no wrong answer. Just get the throw conversion. Whatever helps you get the throw conversion. There's no wrong answer. But yeah, mid-screen you can't Cilia slide. But here you can. You just and then you get to do the Cilia slide stuff. But then on characters that are heavy, like double or big band, if I flush step, they already fell on the ground really, really quickly, right? So I can't flush step and get them. You can, but it's hard. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do the flush step. So what do you do if it's a heavy character? Good example is double, big band, Beowulf, Eliza. You throw, and then instead of flesh stepping, you dash. It's literally all you do. It's the only difference. If they're heavier, you grab them and you dash. Literally all you do. And then there's, once again, since the throw combo scales so much, there's really no wrong answer. Just get them, get the conversion, get a reset, get the real damage from the reset, and make things pop. And heavy characters, same thing. In the corner, you don't have to waste OTG if you don't want to. Even Big Ben. Another thing I need to touch up on that I forgot to touch up on is Teacup Loops. Teacup Loops do a little bit less damage at the cost of using less Undizzy. So there's certain, this is going to be hard to explain for newer players, but there's certain situations where Undizzy, I'm not going to get, I assume you know how Undizzy works to some degree if you're watching this, but if not, there's guides on it online. There's certain scenarios where, let's say this double down hitting is very far along in Undizzy. I like did a reset. They have like more than half of their Undizzy bar open. If I do this, if I land and do that stand light punch, let's say that triggers Undizzy. I don't want that. That sucks. I want to kill them. So what you do is you do Teacup Loops instead. Teacup Loops are very, very easy on most characters. You simply just take out some stuff. So the barrel loop, right? Remember I did light, medium, hard kick into barrel. You literally just exclude the medium kick, and you just do jump light punch, jump hard kick, punch. Right there. And then it comes, if you do it right, then it comes down. And then sometimes that stand light punch won't trigger Undizzy, but if I did the regular barrel loop, it would. But since I used less buttons, aka using less Undizzy points, it's going to work. And then that's a beautiful thing, and then I get to kill the character. So it's hard to explain, but once you just really get more comfortable with double, you'll learn, like, I can't do the barrel loop in this situation. I need a teacup loop. And that's when you do it. And then there's some people who prefer to just do teacup loops as their actual combo. There's no way in hell that was the actual optimal one. I'm sure there's something more optimal, but you get what I mean. That exists too, if you feel like doing that. But yeah, it's mostly used as something where it's like, if you try to do barrel loop, the Undizzy would engage, but if you do teacup loops. So conversions from supers, we already went over that too, but just to recap, you do monster, you kind of just wait and shoot the gun and get it pretty free. If you want to be crazy and optimized, you can try to go for the stand medium kick. You can get it. If you're super nuts, if you want to be OD optimized, I can't believe I got that on the first try, but you can do stand, you can just do stand hard kick. But trust me, 99% of double players in a tournament where it really matters, you just wait a second and you shoot the gun, and it literally, the timing's fine. It literally doesn't matter. Great. So that's pretty much what you do off of monster against anybody, any character. And then level 3 we already went over. If you have your hard knockdown still, you do the card. It's like this. Pretty sure I want somebody to show. Yep. Oh, yep. Yeah, it's hard on certain characters.
Yeah, I think you were like a little too late.
Yeah, I think it's hard on certain characters, a little bit more tighter. But yeah, so monster, you just do that, and then that's pretty much it. And then the game, it used to be like off of conversions of light bomber or weird conversions. You would like try to do Catheads and then like figure out a way to try to get them on the ground, and then you try to mash and then hope that they restand like that, because if they don't, they can fall out randomly. Thankfully, because of monster, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You just do monster instead, and it doesn't even scale that much, so you get more damage anyway.
So I guess before we go too much further, you were mentioning before that barrel loops won't work on Big Band. Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, thank you
for alternatives?
Yes. Big Band is a weird case for doubles, and it's a very frustrating thing to learn at first, because all those combos I talked about pretty much work on everybody except this guy because he's just really thick. So you saw how I did the barrel loop earlier, right? Here's what happens when you do it. So I can't. Why did that work? I'm actually. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it just works. Okay, there you go. So the light punch one works, kinda. But light kick it won't. Literally every single time it won't. You don't get anything. But apparently the light punch kind of works. But so what you do is you just kind of learn. Teacup works really easy. So those are answers. Teacup works super well. So you just do Teacup Loops. Jump light kick is just not a button in the freezer. You do a lot of the jump E and punch, land, a lot of that stuff to try to get it to work. You gotta make sure you're really above them, but it's a little hard. There's videos online. The one I did it earlier. You do this. See, and I messed up. So it's just like you gotta just learn kind of big band specific combos. They're not that hard. Another thing you do against big band though is since he's so tall, you can kind of just do this to him, or you just hit him with a never-ending legion of kitchens, and then just reset him and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's new stuff with how jump hard punch works now that you can just incorporate, where you can just skip barrel loops completely and just like hit him with this. But I haven't really been messing around with any of that stuff. But there are a lot of answers. But yeah, if you're sitting there and you're like, why is this not working? It works on everybody. That's why. Big band's just a little different. So you just have to go about it a little bit differently. But Teacup Loops and the Cilia slide stuff works fine. Oh, just pretend I did stand my kick there instead. But yeah, there you go. So you can just do Cilia slide loops and stuff like that. So yeah, corner carry versus damage. That one's also a really simple, quick one to go over. You just for corner carry, barrel loops are really, really good. They cover a lot of space, and then damage, you go for Cilia slide. Cilia slide combos usually net you a little bit more bang for your buck and stuff. And then your hard hit counter, go over that real quick. If you get like a really good counter, like a hard punish, like you read a super, the car's coming, and you're punishing them. I messed up. You do do it again. You do like bam 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 monster into like something, like stuff like that. Just you want to get like as much crush hard punches and stuff as you can. But for counter hit damage, once again, it's good, but it's not like it's not like Big Band where it's like you're dead, or like Peacock where you're dead. But it's pretty good and useful to some degree. But yeah, Happy Birthday combos. That's an easy one. Hers are really, really easy.
Yeah, that is the wrong assist to use for that.
So for people that don't know, if you do a Happy Birthday combo like that, see how Cilia just stayed there forever? You get to, if you snap back, you get to actually pick up Cilia and hit her, and you get to do a double snap combo. And hers are easy. You do this, and you do fridge. And then you do it again, and then you do fridge. You just OTG with like stand light kick, and you do fridge. Or if you want, you can switch it up and do barrel. If you want to take less time, because sometimes if you KO with the fridge, it puts you in a pretty minus situation. So it's a little bit more safe to go for barrel. I think it builds them a little less needed. So it's literally this easy. You just do this. You just launch, gun. Some people do gun. Like you launch, wait a second, so it's not a true combo and gun. And then go back to the barrel. But it's literally this easy. And like Philly's been dead for like an hour. I'm just making an example. Like you just do this or fridge. If you want, I'm gonna drop this, but if you want to get nuts, This is like the most optimal one. It kills. You can't see it because of the bar, but it kills them really, really quick and doesn't spend that much. Doesn't give them that much meter, and it kills them really, really quick. But it's like hard-ish. You can risk dropping it, where like that. You just saw I was doing it for like a minute. This thing, like you don't drop that. It's so easy. You literally launch, wait a second, barrel, stand like it, launch, wait a second, barrel, and the character's dead. And it's really easy. So that's the one you do there. Mid-screen, it's gonna be too hard to set up. But basically, what you do is, I don't know the actual optimal one, sadly, because it's bad, but most players don't even really do it. You kind of just hit them with as many jump hard kicks as you can, and just like see if you can net as much damage. And if you, like, all you need is like 4 of them or 3 of them, and it does like 80%. There's an actual mid-screen assist kill out there that I think is pretty hard, but on like if you get a really beefy mid-screen assist out there, you kind of just time your jump hard kicks really well and like chain them together. And if you do it right, the character's dead or they lose so much health for like. That's pretty much what I just go for.
If you get like a happy birthday combo like mid screen and you're trying to get both characters to the corner, do you have any specific tips for that, or will her regular combos just work? Yeah.
If not, if it's like truly mid screen. If it's truly mid screen, you kind of can't. At least to my knowledge. Once again, you kind of just maybe get some jump hard kick luck going. But if it's really close to the corner, then yeah, you can get like a jump hard kick or 2 and then like launch and do the barrel thing. But that situation hasn't really come up with me yet. I don't really know that much. I just do the jump hard kicks and try to do as much damage as I can. But I'm a little different of a player. Whenever I play in a tournament, I don't go for the guaranteed best option. I go for the safest, cleanest way to get guaranteed damage. So yeah, there might be a double mid-screen assist kill that like would kill every time, but it's really hard. I might just drop it anyway. Or I can just go for like 3 jump hard kicks. It's easy as hell. I did like 70% of their system. Like whatever. But yeah, I'm a little different in that regard. But yeah, sadly, I don't know.
I was talking if both characters are healthy and you get a happy birthday, and you're just trying to like get damage in corner carry.
Yeah, I guess it's just jump hard kick. I feel like jump hard kick's the answer to most of your corner carry mid-screen assist kill needs. It's a lot of this. But yeah, sorry, I'm not too well out on that. Mix-ups.
So I guess you already covered fast falling with her.
Yeah, fast falling's a big one. Your main mix-up, double's not really that insane with it. Her reset game is really good, but her actual like opening you up with mix-up game is really not that great. You kind of just bait them into doing stupid stuff, like in neutral, and then you come down with like a button. And your true mix-up game, honestly, since she has no overhead, aside from like crazy fuzzy stuff on like tall characters and stuff, but like jump, light punch, barrel, or anything like that, like on Big Bang. Like beat Big Bang and crouch block. You can do stuff like this, like on really tall characters where you're fuzzy with instant light punch and then combo. But if they block it, you're not safe. Like, but yeah. So your mix-up game is literally kind of just mixing up your lows and buttons with throw. It's very similar to like a traditional Street Fighter frame trap character. You're kind of a frame trap, mixing up your buttons with a throw type of character. That way you get the hit and you cleanly do very obnoxious and very good resets that are really tough to deal with. And yeah, pretty much. Sliding knockdown is really good. That's another thing to go over. If you really just, if they're really far, if they're really high up on Dizzy, you just want to end the combo. This is a great way to do it, and then you just throw out some jump hard kicks so they have to wake up blocking them, and you like mix them up and just keep pressure on. So that's another really good thing to do instead of the end of a combo. If you can't kill them, you don't really have enough on Dizzy to work with for a reset, just sliding knockdown, pretty freaking cool. But yeah, her mix-up game is pretty, like, one-trick pony in the sense of, like, it's literally just low throw, except those high fuzzy guards that Sonic loves to do on a lot of people, and a lot of doubles as well, but it's not, like, 4-chain or anything like that. You kind of just, low throw. So, but, now, the resets. or when it gets pretty crazy. I'm just gonna go over a few basic ones. What I do against mid-screen characters is you jump and you do. Sonic has this down where you do jump light punch, jump medium punch a little, and then jump hard kick. And if you do it right, they literally can't mash it all. And then you get a free like 50-50 left-right with stand like. Or you can do like something like fastball jump medium kick. How am I doing? Peace. There you go. Where you get fastball jump medium kick and a hard kick, and then you get the same 50-50. So her main bread and butter is you pretty much just want to figure out a string that puts them very low to the ground to where they can't mash and button on the way down. Like a Cilia can't mash jump hard kick or jump light punch. Air supers are still in the play, but you just bait theirs. But you basically want to get this scenario to happen where you hit them with a 50-50. What I mean by a 50-50 is, that was a terrible one, but you put them down low to the ground, and then they have to guess which side you're going to do the stand light punch. So the easy one against people that are like learning the game is just the just you go cross under because they're not ready for that yet. They're very new to the game. They don't really know what's going on. You're crossing them under, and then once they're like, all right, I get it. They're gonna cross under. This guy's a poop face. He's gonna cross under every time. That's when you wait, or like shimmy a little and make it look like you're gonna cross under, and then you go same side. And then they're completely mind-boggling. They have like no idea. And then, as if that wasn't enough, you thought it was over. Oh no. Oh man, now I know what to do, you throw them. And then they're just so over it. They're not having fun. They're not having a good time. You ruin their day. And that's what you want to do with them. You ruin their day. And in a very efficient and clean way. It's not the most exciting reset in the game, but it's very, very good. If you time it right, they literally don't have a way to match in time. So you just have to learn like the right ones that are very anti-mash and stop the opponent from mashing. But of course, like Pinwheel Air Super will still go through it because it has good hit stop. But then you just bait it and you that's your goal in mid-screen, is that you just want to like make something where they fall down really low to the ground so their buttons don't come out in time. And then you do literally something as simple as left side stand light punch, right side stand light punch, or a grab. So it's literally that easy.
You can also air grab them, right?
Yep. You can also. Oh my god, why am I just doing it for if you do it, this one isn't really that good for air grabbing, but if you have a certain one, yeah, you can. There you go. You can air grab. And then your air conversion. I forgot to mention that earlier. Your air throw conversion, it universally is you just dash, crash medium punch, Cilia slide. Crash medium punch, crash hard punch, Cilia slide, or you just, yeah. But for every character, it's the same. There's no flesh step first, like a ground throw. You just dash over and you can hit them. Every character in the game. Way easier to deal with than ground throw. So those are your mid-screen left, right. She's not really a high-low character. She's more of a left, right character. Mid-screen, however, you're
in the corner?
I mean, yeah, sorry. I keep mixing that up. In the corner, obviously, you can't do this, really. So what do? You kind of just make pressure. You use a lot of pressure with jump hard kick. One thing I really like to do, very easy reset. You launch them with whatever. And you do jump light punch, jump hard kick. So they come down, right? And then the birds coming down. So then you hit them with a low. And then it's like what I said earlier, right? It's as simple as a low throw, but that 50-50 is enough to make them flip a coin in their head, right? So it's like, oh man, he keeps hitting me with the low. Oh, Alright, I'm gonna tech this time. I swear I got it. Oh, you know, it's that simple. And the bird helps keep it safe. So that's a really easy one. But honestly, with double, if they have a lot of help, your goal nowadays, like the pressure in the corner is really good, but your goal nowadays is to literally do a Cilia slide combo that gets them out of the corner so you can do your mid-screen stuff. Because your mid-screen reset game is obviously way better than your corner reset game. So that's something you literally look for. You look for getting a clean hit and like putting them in the corner for pressure is what you want. That's amazing because you limit their options and it helps you hit them. But then once you hit them, that's when you let them out. And you're like, all right, get out of here. I don't want you there. I want you here. And then you mix up under there and they're like, oh man. And then you keep putting them in this hell where they have no idea what's happening. And notice how they're at max undivity and it literally doesn't matter. It's not doing any damage, but at this point, they stand dead, you know? So just keep that in mind. So, and then outside of that, it depends on her assists that you have, but I was showing it earlier, you can do some really nasty, like, cross-up barrel stuff. With something like drill or something that keeps them down there, where you just do really grimy mix-up stuff, like cross-up overhead barrel into nonsense. This one's super fake, but like you can easily come down and mash a button, but a lot of people aren't ready for it, and it'll work a lot of this one. So you jump, light kick, jump, hard kick, and then since you're set behind them, if you dash back, it counts as a dash forward, and then the same side. You can mash on the way down, but there's certain characters where you can't. And those are the characters you do this on, like characters with really slow buttons on the way down, like Painwheel without meter and stuff like that, where it works, and it works really well and efficiently. It's one of the very cute resets that a lot of people like to do. And then pretty much in all of these situations, you can also mix in a throw. You can literally just be like, alright, so he's blocking, I just throw him. It's literally that easy. So in this situation where it's just like, oh man, he's blocking all my stuff. Then you just throw it. See, it's hard! But then, like, pretend he's blocking everything and he just reads, oh, I'm gonna do that, and then you just throw him, you put him in for a loop. Another very easy one, this is called the Evo 2012, where everybody in Evo 2012 didn't really have a double yet, because it was the first vanilla Evo, but everybody had this reset. You did a jump light punch, jump medium kick, and you waited a sec, because I thought you were gonna barrel loop. You grab him in the air. That's a very easy day one reset. It's like still holds up okay. People won't fall for it as much, but you can still mix people up with it. So yeah, that's another really easy one. But yeah, her reset game is just really straightforward. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Rinse and repeat. Just find stuff that keeps them low and whatnot. And now the other thing we're gonna go over just real quick is burst baits. I was sleeping on this, trying to really figure out, like, the thing is, like, Double's burst baits aren't really that immaculate. She doesn't really have, like, the greatest burst baits on the planet. She's not really a burst bait character. She's very much just a reset them to death character. She's got a little bit of thing. That's one of those things you can incorporate in the corners. You like, do this, do your barrel loop right. But instead of finishing the combo, I launch and do jump back hard punch. And then, like, if they're really mashing, if you know they're like mash crazy, they're gonna burst, and then you hit them. And then your most damaging thing to do, you want to like try to just, when they fall down, you want to just land. You want to hit them with stand hard kick to get the hard counter hit, or crouch hard punch to get the hard counter hit. Just anything like that. You want a hard counter hit button. So you want to do that with jump hard kick or jump hard punch. But honestly, that's really the only burst bait I really incorporate. I wish I had more to show you guys. She's definitely just a reset character.
Yeah, but most of her burst baits sort of revolve around jump hard punch.
Yeah, most of her
like
burst
a
baits,
spacing where.
Yeah, like OTG with jump hard punch. A lot of people do that. Like they'll do a sliding knockdown, and then like maybe on certain characters where they're really thick, you can like do a jump hard punch or something. A lot of it's like jump back, jump hard punch, trying to catch the mash a button or something like that. But honestly, I really sat on it and tried to do. Not that many doubles do crazy burst fate stuff that much. Cloud does. Cloud has some burst fates. He'd be better to ask. There's double players you can watch that do burst fates, but when Sage played, he had Excel teams. He didn't really ever do it. He just like said it. I just reset. Cloud kind of does it, but he's still also. But it's all about the 50-50 Midscreen. That's really where all of her stuff's coming from. It's just doing that. So, yeah, man. I don't know. That's pretty much. Is there anything else that you any questions or anything, buddy? Or?
A couple of questions, but I guess one thing we didn't cover is her taunt.
Yeah, I don't even know what it does. What does it do?
I was trying to remember, and honestly, I don't know off the top of my head.
Every character in this game is a taunt. Some of them are useful, like Big Band, and
basically all the DLC characters have useful taunts.
Eliza. Double is not one of them. I literally can't even. It's light punch, light kick, medium kick, hard punch me. What the hell? How do you even? I probably can't even do it, man. I'm so bad. What? Ow. I don't know. It doesn't do anything. Trust me.
I think you're like, it might recover like 5 red life or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
What was the input for it again?
Huh?
What was the input?
I punch light kick.
Oh, I see. It's like the zigzag chain.
Medium kick, hard. Oh, it's medium kick, hard punch, medium punch. Oh, okay, so it's. There we go. Okay.
Right. It's a circle. I remember now. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's useless.
Yeah, it either heals like an insignificant amount of red health, or it gives like an insignificant amount of meter.
I don't think Parasols is as useless as the next time you use the medium kick egret.
It's like
he says, "Excuse me, princess," next time.
Yeah, that's like
all it does.
It's like extra useless in the sense that like it doesn't even have a gameplay benefit.
So I don't think. But trust me, if it was worth anything, I would know. It's not worth anything. Any other questions?
Oh yeah, we did have a couple of questions in the chat.
That pretty much covers it, guys. Just strong neutral, really strong mid-screen reset game. Really just jack of all trade character and really good glue. If you're looking for a character that makes great use of meter, if you're looking for a character that just doesn't really have glaring issues, but doesn't really have glaring, amazing, broken thing. Well, not broken. Like in terms of just like really weak in one aspect and like ridiculously strong in the other. She's very like middle ground, very solid, very good, has a great matchup spread, has great reset game, great use of meter. Just if you're looking for a character that's like, I love these two characters and I don't know who to put third, chances are you can pick up Double, learn her, and if you like her, she's gonna work with those two characters. I don't even need to know who those two characters are. So
Alright, so I guess one question earlier was somebody's asking about Double pulling back when she does Luger.
Oh yeah. She definitely hits back a little bit, so you can do some tricky burst-based stuff with it. You can do some burst-based stuff with it. It puts your hurt box back, and yeah, it's really good in that regard. That you can like fake out like a jump in. It just helps make it a more useful tool of an anti-air. It helps move you away from the situation slightly, but it doesn't come into play as much as you would. But yeah, no, it definitely helps.
Okay, and the other question here was, does she have a way to convert off? So you mentioned before that like if you just want to make some space and you're not sure what to do, you can do jump back hard kick. Does she have a way that she could convert off of that?
Like this? Like
yeah.
Damage, like hit a opponent?
Yeah, like if you get a hit off of it.
Oh, like a raw jump hard kick? Oh yeah.
But when she's jumping backwards.
If they fall into the pigeon, yeah, then you probably. Yeah, you can probably get something. Yeah, it depends if they fall into the pigeon. But no, you kind of strictly just use it as a getaway from you putting a hitbox in front of you. So they can't really contest it. And then if they do get hit by it, then yeah, I guess you can confirm it into something, but I've never really thought of it. I think the answer is like most of the time not. Unless you have like an assist or something. You can call it with an assist.
Or maybe with H. Luger?
Huh?
Maybe with H. Luger?
Yeah, maybe with H. Luger you can get something weird. But yeah, if you have like an assist, yeah, but by yourself, not really.
And, but yeah, unless I don't think we have any other questions in the chat, so I guess that's it. Thanks so much. This is like really thorough. Nice.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know how long it was. I'm sorry if it's really long.
They're all pretty long. I mean, yeah, I'll try to go through and like timestamp everything. So if people are trying to, there's like, I really just want to know about the resets, I can just jump in. Although there are other videos that cover resets as well. But yeah, thanks a lot. And
yeah, I hope everybody learned some stuff about double. I hope it opened up your eyes to a character that you maybe want to try, or if you want to. I hope if you don't play double and want to learn how to deal with her, I hope this helped learn about the character. If you want to try double, I hope you learned something. If you want to pursue double, I just hope it helped you out. If you have any questions about this character or Parasol, I'm also not that bad with that character either. You can follow me on Twitter at keninblack. I have a guide on Skullheart for, sadly not this character because we just did it, but there's a text guide on Parasol that's like 80% finished. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it, but if I ever do, it's on Skullheart. It's pretty thorough. The things that are on there are solid. It's just definitely a couple of things that maybe one day I'll go. Yeah, yeah. Keep playing Skullgirls, guys. And
yeah, no, definitely this was very useful for me. I mean, I'm ready to cash out. I'm ready to sell out and play double.
Hell yeah! You be the real East Coast player that you are.
Although yeah, she's just like an incredibly useful character to have to just know, like, because like you said, I mean, she goes so well with so much of the cast.
Everybody. So hope that helped, guys. Really appreciate my man Datagram for inviting me to his home, because we tried to do this last week. And the lobbies literally weren't cooperating, but thankfully I'm like less than an hour away, so it worked out.
Yep. That Hoboken life.
That Hoboken life, man.